Thank you. And I want to thank the technical team for finding a version that would make the president proud. All right, so the first order of business, we can't get things started without a blessing. All right, so we had the national anthem, and now we will have a blessing, and we will have two blessings, as a matter of fact. And the first one will come from Pastor Esther Prince. So I'd like Pastor Esther Prince to come forward.
Good evening, everyone. And may we reverence whoever you reverence as your supreme. Let's do that now. Heavenly Father, Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance and wisdom. Fill us with your grace, Lord, as we make decisions that will affect all our lives today. Heavenly Father, you are indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we come together this evening to seek your wisdom, guidance, and courage, strength as we believe, and be with us in all our deliberations, and help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the nation, Trinidad and Tobago, and the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. Give us insight, O Lord, to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and good. Keep us from short-sightedness. Help us to make decisions always that strive to be for the good of all, while guiding us from blind self-interest. Finally, dear God, grant us the humility to always seek your will in all that we do and say. Father, I thank you for our political leader and all the executive members, every member, every shadow MP here today that is going to be called upon to serve in their constituency. We thank you for blessing us. And as we gather today, again, Lord, we declare your grace. We declare there would be no accidents, no incidents. We declare your peace. We declare your joy. And Father, when we have left this place, we would have been empowered to go out and to make more membership so that this party will be able to do what is necessary to make this Trinidad and Tobago a place for all of us to be happy. In Jesus' name.
Yeah. Amen. So for the second blessing, we would like to call on Pundit Donny Samlal. Pundit.
Pleasant good afternoon. Sitaram, Namaste, Salaam Alaikum, and greetings to all. As we pray today, we ask you, Divine Lord, worshipped on the altars of all mankind, called by many names, worshipped in many different forms. We ask for your presence and your guidance here today. Lord, we pray especially for our team today, that may there be good governance, so that sustainability and progression may be seen in our country. Lord, wherever there is hatred, lust, greed, anger, and jealousy, may it be removed by your divine light and by your love. Lord, we pray that the bloodshed, the pain, and the suffering that our citizens are currently feeling, that by your intervention and by the work of your holy name and your holy forms, O Lord, may it bring peace to this land. As we pray, we ask that may that governance come from you, O Lord. May it be a reflection of what you represent, and may we continue to make Trinidad and Tobago a better and a great place. Today we put before you our leaders. We place before you this assembly, O Lord, that may they be consecrated and blessed in your holy name. As we chant one of the ancient mantras, seeking light and blessings, the Holy Gayatri Mantra, we pray that may our land be blessed. Lord, there is currently too much going on that the righteous are basically led into hiding. We are being persecuted, we are being tortured, and there is no way out. But we pray that by your intervention today and by your blessings, O Lord, may we see light. O universal masters, we pray to you, in whatever form we choose to worship, in whatever way we worship, we pray to you as light, which is universal. All cultures, all people, they see you as light. We pray that may that light illumine our minds, may darkness, and may all the evils of mankind be removed. With love. Om Bhur Bhuvaswa Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. May peace and love guide our actions. May Trinidad and Tobago be great again. Om Shanti.
Okay, so thanks to Pundit Donny Samlal. So we're going to keep things moving throughout the course of the evening so that we could get down to the cutting of the ribbon, and we'll hear from the political leader of the PEP. All right? Now, just a few people that should be acknowledged before we get things started. Just mentioned the political leader, Philip Edward Alexander. Party organizer, Satish Ramsaran, is also here. Chairman, Felicia Holder. I asked her a little while ago when we were doing the program, I said, you sure you don't want to be called chairwoman? She said, no, I just like the song of chairman. So to each their own. So she prefers chairman. So Felicia Holder is here, and we're going to hear from her shortly. We also have the head of the women's arm, Precious Cruikshank, is also here, and head of the youth arm, and part of the technical team somewhere in the corner, thereabouts, we have Mr. David Welch. We would also like to acknowledge the political leader of the Congress of the People, Mr. Kurt Sinnett, who is also here, and we will hear from him as well this evening. So we are here to open officially the PEP. Now when I say we are here, I know all the seen men are black PEP jersey. A lot of people who watch the program, they say, no, well, all right, Stefan is an official member of the PEP. I just like black, and I thought the jersey looked good on me. That's all. All right, you're taking that. So we have the opening of the head office, the East-West Corridor head office. And we will hear from a few people during the course of proceedings. And the first person that I want to call for an official welcome, or official PEP welcome, is the chairman, Ms. Felicia Holder. Felicia? Nice.
I just also want to acknowledge Ms. Shazelle Ramjad, the head of our Animal Rights and Environment team. Yes, Stefan forgot her, but that's all right. So good afternoon. As chairman, I'll be wearing several hats tonight, but first hat I will be wearing is to welcome and thank all of you for coming today at the opening of our new East-West Corridor hub and head office. We're situated here in bamboo number 2. We have set down roots, and we have this bamboo 1? Satish, you're setting my boy. Apparently changed from number 2 to 1. So we're in bamboo number 1, we have set down roots, and the Progressive Empowerment Party is here. Of course, this could not be without the help of so many people that we will save for the vote of thanks. But every time we open a new office, every time we cut a ribbon, every time we launch something as big as we're launching with our shadow MPs tonight, I always go back to the genesis. I always remember the start of this journey back in 2017. And I look on with pride at the steady pace at which the Progressive Empowerment Party has continued to grow. This week, the past few weeks, we've heard a lot of political noise. Green flags turn red, or they were always red and they were masquerading as green. You're still hearing the same noise from the same yellow and the ketchup and the mustard. And it's the same old. There is only one political option that has stood apart from all the bacchanal and the noise. There's only one political option that has focused on growing and building out on the ground and on the top level, and that is the Progressive Empowerment Party. And I stand here tonight with immense pride, seeing what we have accomplished and knowing that this is literally just the beginning. We're opening our east-west corridor hub, and soon to be our south hub, soon to be our Port of Spain hub, soon to be our Tobago hub, because we're going everywhere. Trinidad and Tobago is suffering from a lack of leadership, and the Progressive Empowerment Party has that leadership, and not just the leadership, but the know-how. That slogan, Philip will fix it, which is going to morph into PEP will fix it, which is going to morph into Felicia will fix it, and anybody who wants to take on the job of fixing it, it's going to morph into that, because we are committed to showing the people of Trinidad and Tobago that we're not just talk, we are also action. So again, thank you for coming out. Please look out for the exciting events we're going to have this evening, and I look forward to interacting with you. Thank you.
Well said, Party Chairman Felicia Holder. I must apologize to Ms. Giselle Ramjit. Okay? I must apologize, and she's coming up next to speak, yeah? But before I bring her on, I must say this, you know, part of my job is talking about current affairs and, you know, political talk and thing, And I heard Felicia mention the Fix It, right? Because Philip have this Fix It campaign he has gone on throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody seemed to be gravitating towards it except Rowan Sinanan. That's a story for another day. But but I think as it grows, as the party grows, right, that's what a political party is supposed to do. That's what any political party that wants to get in the government is supposed to do, is to fix things, right? So I just want you all to remember this. There's a saying, right, that people we don't remember it enough when come election time, and it's a simple saying: elections have consequences. Simple like that. So we say it again, elections have consequences. We go into the booth and we do what we are accustomed doing. You understand? And while Philip fixing it and Felicia will start fixing it, and some the shadow MPs that you will be introduced to this evening will start fixing things, what happens is we trapped mentally in this two-party system. And when they fail, or we don't see the MPs, the people that elected to office, we start to depend on people who not. And those people have the least resources. And somehow or the other, they get it done. And then election come, and we forget those people. And we go back to the two-party politics again. And you know, such is life in Trinidad and Tobago. But, you know, we have options. There are options now, and we're saying to you, you know, the PEP could be an option for you. So, without further ado, and just, you know, as a matter of fact, just 1 second. We have some seats up front here. If anybody's to the back and they want to be seated in front, don't be afraid, come to the front. Don't worry, come to the front, have a seat, have space up here. For those of you who want to use the restrooms are on this side here, male and female, all right? So anytime you want to relieve yourself, that's where you're headed, okay? So I forgot this lady a little while ago, and I apologized for it. And I hope, like every other woman, she accepts the apology. All right? But she's the head of the Animal Rights and Environment team, and I'm not too sure if any other political party has a head of Animal Rights and Environment, but we're going to find out from her. Her name is Shazelle Ramjet. Give her a warm round of applause. We're going to hear from her now. Shazelle.
Good evening, everyone. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to accept that apology. Yeah? We'll talk about that after. But as easy as it is to forget me, as he just mentioned, it is easy to forget that there are other inhabitants of our beautiful island, and those are our animals, our flora and our fauna, and that is something that is important to us. So I want to know if there are any pet owners among us. Yes, yes, round of applause for you all. And anyone who loves animals, you may not own a pet right now, but you genuinely care about our animals. Yes, no, please, let me know. Great. So this is what you all are going to do. 682-2110 or 375-8656, 375-8656. Please get into contact with me because we are genuinely trying to build out this arm of the political party. It's brand new. We've just launched it. However, we have been involved in petitioning for animal welfare laws since 2019. So we have been working behind the scenes, but we are ready to make it something official. And we are the first political party, I believe, to step up and have an arm separate for our environment and our animals. For us to make a difference, we need to amend our laws, our legislation. All right, we have a lot of NGOs, and what we want to do is give our political support to those NGOs so that they have a voice. How many of us suffer through Independence Day, New Year's Day, Diwali fireworks, hurting not just the animals, but the elderly or our kids? There's new technology. This is 2022, silent fireworks exist. But who are the people selling those fireworks? And why are they still allowed to? Those are things that we need to change. So right now, we are, as I said, we are looking for active members, and I hope that I can encourage some of you all to join us and be part of our team. Our plan is to focus on policy change and legislation reforms, but we are also working on other aspects of our agenda. One of the things we want to do is encourage education on spaying and neutering animals. There's a lot of debate around this topic. There's a lot of controversy. People think it's not natural and it's not something that should be done. But when it's not done, you end up with a lot of stray animals. You end up with a lot of animals being dumped off in boxes, in drains, behind offices, behind homes. And those stray animals become a little bit of a menace to us in our homes. They enter your yard, they tear up your garbage, and sometimes, as frustrating as it gets, we deal with these animals getting poisoned. And that should not be happening. That is very unfair to our animals. So we will be encouraging a spay and neutering drive and education on this forum. This is just a start. We are also going to be dealing with our endangered animals, such as our leatherback turtles. And I will share a story with you. I was on the beach at Grand Riviere recently, and there was a gentleman picking up some of the baby turtles that were hatching and putting them into a sectioned off area to release them later on in the night, because there were birds that were swooping them up as soon as they got into the water. As much as that is a thoughtful effort, it is also interfering with nature's cycle. And there are also a lot of predators within the ocean at night. There was a story where someone opened up a mahi-mahi recently and found 18 leatherback turtles in one of them. These turtles are endangered not because of nature's cycle, but because of human beings, because of our actions. And we need to take action to protect them before all these little children in here grow up to never know what a leatherback turtle looks like. So that is something we are also going to be focusing on. We have a lot of work to do. This is just the start. I'm genuinely looking forward to working with all of you, getting you on board with us. We need your help to determine the areas in the legislation that needs amending. And once it's important to you, trust and believe it's important to us at PEP. Thank you very much.
Lovely. So that is Shazelle Ramjit, head of the Animal Rights and Environment team once again. And I'm hoping she forgives me. If not, I'll have to call on the pundit and the pastor to say a prayer for me. We all know hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. I don't want to end up in that boat. Just on the fireworks topic. You know, I said recently, I have a lot of people calling me and they always complain about the animals, elderly people complaining about, the fireworks. And, I said it the other day, I have never, ever in my life heard anybody say, hey, you want to go to Savannah to hear the fireworks? It's good, they tell it, let's go see the fireworks. Nobody will ever say, let me go hear the fireworks. So, I mean, in the era of silent fireworks, something that exists, it's confusing, why we can't accommodate for those people as well or have an understanding for that. All right, so we're keeping things moving, and we are going to get to the ribbon cutting in just a moment, but before we do that, we would like to welcome Mr. Kurt Sinnett, the political leader of the Congress of the People, to come up and say a few words. So, Mr. Sinnett, the floor is yours.
All protocols observed, political leader of the PEP and his members. It was a pleasure for me to come here this evening to participate in the opening of this office in Phase 1, Bamboo 1. I was invited to also at the NTA meeting last week, and I also attended it. I'm invited to this meeting, and I will also attend it. The reason why, it takes me back to in the days when I used to be representing this country in boxing. And what I understand is that for me to go to the boxing to represent this country, its taxpayers' money would have been coming out to do that. And when I climbed the podium to hear Trinidad and Tobago, when I won my matches, and I am hearing and I'm seeing the flag for Trinidad and Tobago risen, I should say, I am representing 1.5 million people in Trinidad and Tobago. So when I am invited to these occasions, I see no problem in attending these occasions and giving thanks for these situations that Philip and them is actually partaking in. But the Congress of the People also believe that we all need to come together as a party, as a people, one nation, one people. We cannot continue going in the way that we are going. There is nothing such as Indian, African, Chinese, because I know one of my best friends in growing up was an Indian brother. And we both eat together. They will come home by us. And so we at the Congress of People believe we definitely need to come together and at the end of the day remove all malice and other things that is hindering us from coming together, because they are doing a lot of things just to fool us and make us to believe that we are all enemies, and only to reach inside of the public purse. After most of them reach there, I'm not saying Philip is going to do that, but after they reach there, they forget each and every one of you all. We need to wake up as a people in going forward. We need to wake up as a people in going forward to take our country forward. We need to have the people involved in decision making in this country. And I want to thank Philip again for this opportunity. I'm not here to stay long, but Philip, thank you, and I wish you the best, my brother. Thank you.
All right, give it up for Mr. Kurt Sinnett again, man. That's what we're talking about. Togetherness, unity, one country, one people, one movement, one love, one vibes. Don't let them divide you, you know, because that's what they do. You understand? They like to drive that wedge between us, you know. You see this corridor here? That's what they like to have here. You understand? Some only on this side and some only on that side. Philip, you know you shouldn't have no corridor. It's the east-west corridor. Don't worry, we're bringing everybody closer together. Don't frighten. Now, for those of you, you will see that there is a podium set up to the back, and that will be for questions when the time comes. So any questions that you have, and it pop in your head now, write it down, put it on your phone, save it. You will get the opportunity to ask whatever question or whatever concerns you have, maybe for your community and how the PEP could address it. You will have the opportunity to do so momentarily. So what we want to get to right now is the ribbon cutting ceremony. And for that, of course, we will call on the PEP chairman, Felicia Holder, and the party organizer, Mr. Satish Ramsaran, and they will participate in the cutting of the ribbon for the opening of the East-West Corridor head office. All right, so give them a warm round of applause. Nice.
This is a call to the nation. One by one, let's do it together. Let's be the change we want to see. Standing strong through any weather. Follow the light of the PEP. Cause we could build a better place for every creed and every race. Together we could triumph over anything we face. So one by one, two by two, the PEP, we're here for you. Bit by bit, one people under one thought. So come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. It's time for a change indeed. Build a we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP. Twin islands, let's move together. In unity, we can achieve. Right the wrongs, we do it together. Let's build a place where we could truly be. Moving together, hand in hand. One people under one God. We can build a better future for our children. So one by one, two by two, the PEP will care for you. Bit by bit, let's build a better TNT. So come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. It's time for a change indeed. Build a we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP. So one by one, two by two, the PEP, we're here for you. Bit by bit, one people under one thought. So come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it.
PEP.
This is a call to the nation. One by one, let's do it together. Let's be the change we want to see. Standing strong through any weather. Follow the light of the PEP. Cause we could build a better place for every creed and every race. Together we could triumph over anything we face. So one by one, two by two, the PEP, we're here for you. Bit by bit, one people under one thought. So come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. It's time for a change indeed. Build a we go fix it.
Yep. All right. Nice. Back on. All right. So once again, congratulations, of course, all the PP members seated behind me at the head tables on the opening of the official opening of the East-West Corridor Head Office right here in Bamboo number 1. I couldn't help standing on the side and I see the barrel flashing now. And then I say to myself, this thing go down a track runs and then, you know. Philip, you know it got a truck runs and then. You got the rest of your barrels back, Philip? No? Oh, they're working on it. All right. They couldn't return at the same speed to pick it up. All right. That's usual. That's typical of government. Yeah, they take long to give you anything. You do work for them, they take long to pay you. Everything, you know. Oh, Lord. You apply for pension, they take long. NIS. You know what I mean? You know. I see somebody raise hand in the back like you full out your NIS form and you ain't got nothing yet. Philip will fix that. Know yourself. Philip fixing that too. Now we have some entertainment coming up here, but just before we get to Mr. Hernandez, who has a terrific song that he will perform called Vote Them Out. You know, I look at the crowd and on Friday, I was doing a show on Friday, and I got so upset that, and it's still in the front seat here now, in the front row here on this chair. You know, kind of remind me because, you know, he uttered it. Healthcare, boy. You know? I get a message on my phone with a gentleman who waiting for dialysis. And it take him 6 months to going to make the appointment. And then when he make the appointment is for 6 months from the time he make the appointment. You know, and the wife messaged me to tell me, you know, it have anything you could do to help because his lips swollen, saliva not going down, he can't eat, he's not swallowing anything, he needs the treatment now, he needs the dialysis now. And she said, one of the most ridiculous things, she went back to the hospital and a doctor saw him and wrote a note, directed him to go to one of the departments and put urgent on it. And they're still telling me I had to wait till November. We're in the middle of September. And I just find, you know, if that man dies, she should be able to sue the state. You know that kind of way? Should not be going through that. And I opened the phone line and people were saying, you know, but what about health surcharge? What's going on with the health surcharge? Everybody paying. Everybody had to pay the taxes. And I said it, you know, that is taxation. When these systems fail you, that is taxation without representation. It has come in many, many forms. You know? And it's time to fix that. It's time for you to get proper health care. Especially when they couldn't fix the potholes because all the money went in the healthcare system. You know what I mean? And a man still had to wait a year to get an appointment or 6 months to get an appointment on a dialysis machine, man. That's just sad. And, yeah. And that come off the back of the story with a shortage of gauze. You could imagine that? How much are gauze in the pharmacy? A couple dollars? $10 sagwas? Gosh, boy, time's really hard, boy. Goes and all going up to $10? Lord. All right. So I'll tell you what, on that note, considering the healthcare system, you know, and the failures with that, and almost every other sector that people suffering from in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a gentleman by the name of Mr. Tyrone Hernandez with a song called Vote Them Out. And he's going to perform that for us. I think they're giving him a microphone. Nice, man. So Tyrone come in with his own mic to wow you and to convince you to vote them out. Drop the tune, man.
Pleasant good evening. DJ. Testing 1 2 1 2, right? Before I sing this song, I just want you all to know that are we enjoying this government? Are we? No, come here. No. People are so frustrated in Trinidad and Tobago. A friend of mine was so frustrated that he was ironing the pants. While he ironing the pants, the phone rang. Instead of picking up the phone, he picked up the hot iron and put it by his head. Went by the doctor. Doctor treated his head. Doctor said, but you well frustrated. After the doctor treated his head, and he was about to leave, he said, Doctor, how much I pay you? Doctor said, give me $100, and I give the doctor $100, and I returned so. Doctor said, come, what I'm doing next is, he said, Doctor, believe the man called back. It's not easy, people really frustrated. People really frustrated in this place. There we go, brother. Good. My boy, how you doing? All right. This is a message to the nation. Let me point this with loud. Yeah, man. Okay. Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you are to be. Your vote can foretell our country's fate. Move on, use it well before it's too late. If it is not who you're voting, pay on a doubt. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is they prove it to be only full amount. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change should come about. Just as how you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. Stain your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power, dominate their reign. Let's put our country together again. The vote together. Put your hands together for the new Prime Minister. Yeah, man. food, shelter and clothes, free movement and speech, a garden that grows, and one love for each. If it is that injustice is what they always show, when you're voting, vote them more, vote them more. If it is that avarice is all they seem to know, when you're voting, vote them more, vote them more. If it is their politics, it's just a puppet show. When elections day come, all bandits must go. Register and vote them more. If they don't see, vote them more. Stain your finger and vote them more. Show them no mercy, vote them more. Vote them out in total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power, terminate their reign. Let's put our country together again. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
You know. Yeah. Tyrone, you easy? Tyrone, boy. You have it under control now? All right. Don't make Philip come across there and fix it, you know. Fixing that too. So I'll tell you what, give a round of applause one more time to Tyrone Hernandez, man. Yeah, man. You know, Dilamo sing that? No, you sing that? That's your song? Dilamo do have a song called For Them Out too? Huh? All right, cool, man. Nice, man. All right, but you're an easy boy. Yeah. All right, so I'll tell you what. Now that we've cut the ribbon and we've gotten some entertainment, for those of you, if you want a refreshment, it's to the back by the tent. All right. So we have some refreshments there. Don't forget, if you want to use the restroom, it's on the side here, male and female. All right. So one of the things that the PEP has come to Bamboo number 1 for this evening is to announce their shadow MPs. And we're going to present those MPs in just a moment. But before we introduce the MPs, I want to introduce you to the man who helped put this entire evening together, the entire event. He's a very hard-working individual. I don't know if he sleeps. You know, I don't think he sleeps. Look, still insane. No, he doesn't sleep. And he's a party organizer, and he's also the man responsible for recruiting. You're recruiting too? Wow, you're doing everything, boy, Satish, boy. Yeah. Satish, sure then Satish will fix it? Satish, like, he fixed it real thing too, you know. So we want to bring up the party organizer, Mr. Satish Ramsaran, to say a few words before we introduce you to the 10 shadow MPs.
You know, how many times Satish had to fix Philip? Oh, shucks. I think I said that too loud. Good night, my PEP family. How you guys going? I have to admit, I'm a little uncomfortable here. Philip sent me home to change, and I put on his shirt. I didn't wear his shirt in a year, and for some reason his shirt shrunk. I don't know. So, I was once a man just there by myself, thinking, oh gosh, what's going on in this country? I'm worried, I'm scared, I'm worried for my family and everything there. And today, I'm a man with an army besides me. My job in the PEP is to build that army out. That army includes our shadow MPs, and that army includes, most of all, you guys who are here. So I want to thank every one of you all who came in the rain and stuff like that and sacrificed and came out. Everyone who's watching on Facebook, on YouTube, social media, thank you so much. Our country, everyone here knows this, has to fix. And it's our job, not only Philip's job, it is our job to come out and help fix it. You guys are part of an army of patriots. Ask yourself, what do you want for a better country? Something simple, a better future for my children. Some people just want something, open their taps, look at the amount of rain that fell today, and open their taps and they still don't have any water. Something simple. What do you want for your country? And who are you? Ask yourself, who are you? Are you someone who's willing to take it, sit down and take it and just, boy, what you gonna do, what you gonna do? Or actually someone who wants to come and change, actively want to come and change it and fix it. Do let anybody in that parliament come and take all your money and do what they want with it and make their lives better, while we sit down here and we suffer. So guys, thank you for coming out. I can't wait for our shadow MPs to be introduced here, and let's fix it together. You all take care.
Nice man. Satish Ramsaran, party organizer. So without further ado, like Satish, I think everybody would like to meet their shadow MPs, the PEP shadow MPs. So we're going to go in order here. Where's the handheld mic? You have a handheld? Pass it now. Yeah. All right. All right. So we're going to go down. We're going to go down in an order here. So the first person that I'm going to call up is the shadow MP for Diego Martin Northeast. I believe that's the constituency of the gas raising, taxing Minister of Finance called member. So his name is Akil Kams. Akil, come through, man. And Akil will say a few words.
People under one flag. It's time for change. It's time we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
So let me fix it.
Vote PEP.
Good night, everybody. My name is Akil Kams. Diego Martin Northeast. Good night. Who here? More people in the back? Right. And who watching on the live? Right? I heard this once. When good people do nothing, evil prevails. And I could say that's why I am here. Because that's all I've been seeing for the longest while. Evil taking control of our country. And I sit back and I say, well, okay, all right. Let me see who I should vote for. And I watch it and I say, but I don't know him. I can't trust him. He proved himself wrong. And I sat there and I was like, oh, good, what will you do? We're in a mess. And then I sit back and say, who else could I trust? Me. Me? I don't like politics. I don't like politics, but I decide, I say, listen, I know my heart, I know my conviction, I know my willingness. And if it is, I could come out and put my best foot forward. No matter the tools, whatever I have, I'm working with it. But I am confident I could bring change to my constituency, Diego Martin Northeast, and Trinidad in extension, because the willingness is there. We're not seeing that in the government. We're not seeing the willingness. I fight in Wassa right now, and at this close, the next step is court, right? Today, this morning, I almost couldn't come here because I was sick in bed the last 3 days, and last night ran out of water, and rain wasn't falling up on my side because I catch rainwater. And this morning, I had to get up, force myself out of bed, put a tank on my van, and go down the road to get water. That's a lot of people's situation in this country. is 4 weeks. Wednesday was the beginning of 4 weeks, no water. What about those who can't go for water? What about those who don't want to catch rain? They're afraid to drink the rainwater because they might be close to a road and stuff on the roof and that kind of stuff. But it's sad. It's sad. And who do we call? Philip? Philip not in government yet? I can't call him, but waste of time. Waste of time. So this one of the things we have to fix for sure. We have to fix that. And I'm confident, put me in office, and you will see. Thank you.
Oh Lord!
One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build it, we go fix it,
Okay.
we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
All right.
PEP.
So that is Shadow MP for Diego Marte Northeast, Akil Camps, and the next person. Yeah, give him a round of applause again. So the next MP that we want to call to the podium to say a few words is Mr. Anthony Henry. Give him a warm round of applause. He will be the Shadow MP for Komuto Manzanilla. Anthony.
One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build it, we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
A pleasant night, everyone. Good night.
One people under
So nice
one
to see you here. It's wonderful to see patriots of this country here tonight. All protocol observed, political leader, and everyone at the head table, my fellow shadow MPs. I am extremely happy to see so many of you here. It brings the joy to my heart. You know, at the last general election, while I was on the campaign trail, the words that you were hearing from the people are the words that we have been hearing for the last 40 years. It's the words that we're hearing even now. I'm from Komuto, Manzanilla. Anthony Henry is my name. I was born and raised in Komuto, Manzanilla, Sangigrandi, Boystong. That's the little village. Komuto, Manzanilla is an agricultural constituency, land and sea. Someone asked me the other day, what could you do? 40 years now, UNC controlling this constituency, they may do nothing. What could you do? I said, it's simple. It is extremely simple. Being basically an agricultural, constituency, we need to grow food for Trinidad, to stop them people from importing all these foods that we pay so much money for in the groceries. That's what we need. We need to be able to feed ourselves. Two things that we need most. Access roads. Those of you who do agriculture here know the state of access roads, know how important access roads are. Water. The whole of Trinidad and Tobago is suffering from that. And we should, that should be the easiest thing. Everyone should always have water. As Philip always say, we get it free from the sky, magically. You dig 10 feet to get it. Why we suffering for water? Only the PNM and UNC would be able to tell you that, yeah? Because they are the ones that have us suffering for water. PEP, the Progressive Empowerment Party, are the only political party, and I say only without fear of contradiction. We are the only political party that tells you not just what we're suffering from, what we can do to get it right. We're not just quarreling like everybody else and saying the problems. Everyone knows the problems that we have, but we are also offering solutions. Before you leave, if none of you have never seen it before, go to the back table and get the 21 policies. That's our manifesto. Those are the things that will help fix TNT. So together, Komuto Manzanilla, all of us, let's band together with Philip Edward Alexander, our political leader, the future Prime Minister of this country, to fix Trinidad and Tobago for everyone. Thank you.
Technical, ole. Technical. Satish could not fix it, don't worry. Anthony, where Anthony? Anthony, come now. I want Philip to fix something here with immediate, hopefully immediate effect. Philip, we need to get our orange pair of Pumas. Hey! You see that?
Could I rebut? I was looking for a yellow pants to put on actually. But unfortunately I don't have, because our color is orange. And the reason that our color is orange, when you mix red and yellow, that's the color. We are all inclusive. We don't have one side. We are Trinbagonians, all of us.
Boy, you get tired. Philip, bring some kind of orange dye for you to dip that shoe in tomorrow. Watch out for something. All right, nice, man. So that is Mr. Anthony Henry Komuto Manzanilla. Just give him a warm round of applause one more time. Now, the shadow MP for the next constituency, I know they have a lot of problems with roads, road infrastructure, like many areas in Trinidad and Tobago, but Maruga, Tableland, right? Ooh, Dion Richards will be the shadow MP representing the PEP for Maruga Tableland, and we're going to call on him. Where is Dion? Dion, hey, Dion, please stand up. Hey.
One car. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
I want to say good night to our political leader, Madam Chair, all executive members of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Ms. Esther, and shadow MPs tonight, My name is Dion Richards, right? I'm from Muruga Tableland constituency, born and grew within that constituency. Lived all my life in that same area. So I know literally every single part of Muruga Tableland. All the issues that people are facing within that community, I understand and I know it and I feel it because I go through it every single day as well. The roads, Stephen Rees just emphasized on the road. The roads are horrible. I don't understand what it is going on with the roads in Muruga Tableland. And it seems to be no one who has the power or is paid for by the state to deal with the people of Muruga Tableland constituency have any interest in fixing it. Recently, myself and some residents had us to go and patch some holes in Larafin, Muruga, right? And for the life of me, someone passed and said, well, all they're doing a good thing, no problem. No, we are not. We are paying 41 individuals exorbitant salaries. Why do I or us have to go back and do the same thing that I'm paying for?
Oh, Lord!
So I'm saying to the people of Muruga Tableland, I understand the pain, I feel the pain, and I'm willing to fix and help fix the issues that we are facing in Muruga Tableland. My back broad, I could take some strain, but I know for sure what I can manage. My boss man, our next prime minister, he back 10 times broader than mine. And what I can manage, he will help us get there and get it fixed. So the Progressive Empowerment Party today is making a pledge to the people of Muruga Tableland constituency that we are going to fix all of it. That's it. Thank you.
One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Philip, boy, you have a road march there, boy. So big up Dion Richards once again, Maruga Tableland. And Dion, what type of vehicle you came up in? A 4x4? So you have a tray then? It have a tray? Yes. Take a few of these barrels. Rohan sitting on shore to reach Maruga Tableland. Yes? Yeah, trust me, you'll reach. Yeah. You go rich, trust me. So we continue proceedings here, and we want to introduce the next shadow MP. Here now, you see this area here, boy? I ain't lying, you know. I went here twice ever in my life, eh? It's a good drive. Point 14. And I only say that because let me tell you what, usually, you see what has happened? Parliament in tongue, right? So the MPs, everybody who elected and that kind of thing, there is more move up on this side. Nobody really living in the constituency still. They have some place closer to where they're doing business in Port of Spain. So places that are far, right? Like what we in tongue that say, boy, that behind God back, boy. You know, it forgotten. When I was growing up, anything past the lighthouse they used to say that's country. And I grew up in Barataria, and I was like, I live in the country, boy. You know, that kind of way. So we want to welcome Mr. Sheldon Khan, all the way from Point 14.
It's time for change, this time we want to be. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build it, we go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Good afternoon, everyone. Especially Mr. Philip here. I would like to tell you. So good afternoon. My name is Sheldon Khan. I'm from Point 14. As he said, the furthest place from here. I am truly proud of it. I'd like to tell you. One thing I like, well, there's several things I like about this party. Is a cross-section of white, brown, Negro, Indian, is Trinidad I see in here. You understand? Is UNC, is PNM, but most of all is patriots. People who feel that Trinidad could be more, Trinidad could be better. And that is how I met Philip. I had a problem, and I went to the MPs and the councillors in my area, and people say, boy, the boss, you know what the boss is talking about. Here, right, to fix that point. That's I give him seat. So the seat of Point 14 is basically a PNM seat. They say, here, right, to fix that, because election, all you'll get that. I say, whoa, we want it fixed. I called Philip. Philip say, whoa, that's a national issue. I coming down there and fix that. You understand? So recently I negotiated, I met a woman. She say, I see her, like my Philip. You know, Philip is a good man. He go do things. If he reach in our parliament, he go fix this country. And if he get some good men, like Dion and Akil and Darren, well, you know, so I say, yeah, that's a start. But how are you? And how are you? And how are you? And you see all the outside there? I want all out here. You understand? Because Trinidad is not only Philip. It's not only Philip dissatisfied with what's going on here. Last week, I was by the fire service. And I found a lady moving suspicious. So, you know, by the fire service. So, when I got back in my car, I didn't see her. And I looked in my mirror, I didn't see her. And I ended up glimpsing the lady eating out of the garbage bin. And, you know, that touched me in a place where, you know, it's like when Satchel came up here and Nelly cried just now. I listening to the kind of money that's spending in this country, $1 billion for Brian Lara Stadium. That's $1,000 million. And I watching this lady. Now, where she was looking previously, she wasn't dressed like a homeless person. So, you know, it's not you say, you could say, well, ma'am, you want me to buy you something? You know, you could definitely tell that, you know, she didn't want, and that's the point I get into it. She was looking like, you know, you couldn't tell, well, you know, ma'am, you know, she was conscious that, you know, things hard right now, and so I go and get something. And I sat in my car and I'm saying to myself, these men and them, this one driving a Benz, and he boasting that is the most expensive Benz in the world. And this next fool talking about he had 3 Cayenne and it's cheaper than a Prado. And this woman eating out of a Benz. And Philip talking about we had a sugar boom. And we had a oil boom. And we had $3 trillion and people eating out of Benz. What madness going on here? You understand what I'm saying? I have friends. The week before I came up here, there is a pipe, a main pipe in front of my house. I call WASA hotline. I don't even know why they call it a hotline. Why do they call it a hotline? Because when you call, you want to ask me if you want to get your reference number. It's a hotline and they're giving you a reference number. You know, and then people is be telling me they don't like how Philip is behave and he just look scruffy and he just talk loud. But the thing getting you vex. You know, the thing. Watch now. My wife, when I watching Stefan in the morning, people let's talk about Philip, but you know nobody don't talk about Stefan. You know, people let's talk about Philip, but nobody talk. Because watch when Stefan start to get on, my wife just come out and say, "Hey, what am I trying to sleep in, brother?" Because he just get a different color, you know. Sometimes he with a red shirt, and when he started. Watch now, all the eyeball, all them little grain out here you see there, you gotta go and get a haircut one time. No, but putting all the joke aside, right? Philip is always asking me, say, boy, how was he drive? How was he drive from Point? And I say, I don't know what drive you're talking about. I didn't see no drive. I on a mission. You understand? I understand what it is you're trying to do for us. You know? I have a son like you. Right? I have a son like you. And I know that I want to leave this place. I have a partner like you. I have a father like you. I have a cousin like you. I have an uncle like you. Right? I do business with people like you. I is a Trinidadian. I eat everything. Doubles, pepper, anything you put in front of me. Wild meat, well, they know it from the bush. But the point I'm trying to tell me, we have to take back this place. It's a nice place. We can't be keeping and allowing and voting the same way. We can't be going down the road at 4 years of pressure. 4 years. The only time you don't see your MP is election day. You understand what I'm saying? So, your vote, are you only important the month before election? And everybody, if you go on Facebook, the first thing they say, me no long see my MT, me no long see my councillor. You understand? You can't be doing the same thing. Listen here. You know, me and my parents fell out for me coming here tonight because I come from a traditional P&M home. I come from a traditional P&M town. But all them boom he talking about, I don't know about them boom. We only get roads a few years ago. We only get lights a few years ago. I grew up in an outside toilet. All them boom and them money he talking about, I never see that in Chatham. I never see that. So where the money go on, I know you're talking about we had all those things and we have it and we owing people. So we had money, we had assets. Listen, sir, we had money, we had assets. And now you said, that's not actually like talking about you too. You understand? I drive far, no, okay, I drive far to talk. Yeah, so, no, I'm telling you, watch now. How much? Time up. Right, good. No. Well, let me tell you. Coming from, yes, I'm telling you, girl, I'm telling you, watch now, you know how long I waiting to meet a man. You know how long I waiting to meet a man like Philip, but watch now, I in Chatham there, and I feeling like the oxygen sucking out of the, you know, you're feeling like you can't breathe because you ain't know what to do is, you understand? I have neighbors. Listen, I have neighbors working for $5,000, $6,000 a month, right? $3,000 in gas, $3,000 in rent, and $3,000 in grocery. And then the flicking authority telling you that they want to charge you $1,000 because you're carrying road with it. And they're mashing up the road. They ain't fixing it, you know. So where are you supposed to get the $1,000 to fix the car now? No, we have to fix it. We have to join with Philip. You understand? Philip can't do it all. It's we country to all our citizens, all our paying taxes. Anyway, I'm gone. Next time, right? I'll go. Right, partner? Right?
People under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Philip, go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
All right, man. So that is Sheldon Khan. Sheldon, I feel your passion. All the way from Point Fortin, man. All right. So we're keeping things flowing. And we want to call the shadow MP now for Siparia. Whoosh, boy. Plenty of people make a long drive up the road, boy. So we want to call Mr. John Solomon. Mr. John Solomon, come up, man.
People under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Philip, go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Good night to everybody. Good night to the PEP people in the house.
What?
You know, my name is John Solomon, and I am the shadow MP for Siparia constituency. You know, tonight is a bold step for me, you know. I never thought that I'd be doing this, but here I am tonight because we fed up. I have an MP that I've never seen in the constituency. She never passed where I live. I don't know how much other MPs do that. But I think enough is enough. You know, we have an esteemed leader here with us tonight. Somebody who, they try their best to keep him down, keep him back. And I don't think they could do it anymore. You know, tonight with 10 of us here joining the party and coming out, you know, I vow to work for Siparia people, you know, to help create a brighter future for the young ones that come in. You know, when you hear people talk about, I contented with what I have, a contented person is a dead person. You don't want nothing again, you know? So tonight, I just want to say that PEP is the way of the future. PEP is the way of the future. So when that day comes, put your X by the PEP. Good night and God bless.
Philip, we go fix it, we go. Auntie. We had to sing it or you're playing it? No? Oh, they're telling me one thing and do the next thing, you know. Well, there's real politicians in the corner there, boy. That's the real politicians in the corner there. So I'll tell you what, we keep things flowing, and from down south again, we have another shadow MP to introduce, and he goes by the name of, well, he ain't going by the name, his name is Ravi Sicharan. So Ravi, come through, man.
It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Philip, go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Pleasant good night to everyone. Our political leader, Mr. Alexander, all protocols to the health table. I am here tonight because I just fed up. My name is Ravi Sicharan, Shadow MP for Princestown. One of the most beautiful constituencies in Trinidad and one of the most forgotten constituencies in this country. You name it, we have it. Bar road, no water, no MP. We just see we MP 2 times for the year. Local election, when he trying to vote all the councillors now, oh God, I'm begging all, oh God, vote them now, oh God. And when he ready for election, and when you do see him, it's because he passed through the corner, yeah, I am gone. That ain't going to happen anymore in Princestown, because just like our political leader, Mr. Philip Alexander, say he ready to fix it. I, Ravi Sicharan, your shadow MP for Princestown, ready to fix it. And this coming election, we will paint the entire constituency of Princestown orange. I'd like to say thank you to the political leader for giving me the opportunity to stand up and represent my constituency, to be a part of a party of lions that is led by a lion, and to stand up and put Trinidad and Tobago where it deserves to be. Good night to everyone.
One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote to be. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
You now get the DJ work for the PEP boat ride. You now get the work. On point. So, big up Mr. Ravi Sicharan once again, Princestown. And while I was on his side, you know, you get all the news feeds on your phone now. So I see David Lee make a statement on his situation, you know, with the purchase of the vehicle and thing. And I know one of the shadow MPs mentioned that a little while ago. I think it was Sheldon Khan. Yeah, he mentioned that. But you see the next person, this person will be the shadow MP for Point-a-Pier. That is where David Lee is currently the MP. And I could guarantee you that he won't be buying any $2.4 or $2.3 million vehicle and enjoying those kind of tax exemptions. So come forward, Mr. Umra Jaikaran Singh.
One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote to be. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Good night, PEP members. Good night to my political leader, Mr. Philip Edward Alexander. All protocol observed at the head table. To my fellow shadow MPs who I've already heard spoke, I am telling you guys, we have it in the bag. Are you hearing all in? And as my boss man just said there, you call her name, but I don't know who is that. That man is totally a ghost in Point-a-Pier. We had an incident 2 days back, and all you wouldn't hear the BS. The Coast Guard came and tell the fisher folks. They told them the guy who they say he drowned, but from the president of the fisher folks and one of the person from my team, who is the secretary of the fisher folks who found the body, said piracy. You know the bullshit? Sorry for the word. Right? The Coast Guard told them they can't come close to shore. They don't have the vessel for it. What a pack of bullshit, people. No fisherman does fish close to shore. None. The problems facing my constituency, and I know I did not say my name, and I'm not going to say it. My name is Omra Jaikaran Singh. And point up here, you know me. I have walked the walk, and I am talking the talk tonight. I, Omra Jaikaran Singh, will fix it, together with my political leader, Mr. Philip Edward Alexander. Thank you.
One people under one God. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build it, we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
I just want to say to the party organizer and the chair, we need some little flags, boy. I feel a waving vibes with that tune, you know. That little plug there, I feel a little, you know, I can see people, you know, waving a little orange flag there, man. Yeah. So I'll tell you what, once again, round of applause, Mr. Omra Jaikaran Singh. And we will now call on the Shadow MP for Caroni East, Mr. Darren Ramsey Paul. Come forward, man.
People under one God. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build it, we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Pleasant good night, everybody. My name is Darren Ramsey Paul, and as my fellow friends just said it, like, we don't see no MP. We don't see them. I don't know where they exist from, because my area lack that real bad. I don't even see my mom because of the condition of the road, because I can't afford a 4x4. I can't afford it. I come here tonight to tell Carnies, I'm going to make it short. Earlier, only wasting time. It's about time you stand up and fix this. And I didn't come here to play. For who know me, I wouldn't stand here. I come here to make a change. And you see this man here? He showed me that. I do it multiple times while I'm on the road, while I'm working. I call Philip. I say, Philip, people want this, people want that. We get it done. Isn't that? So I come here to make a change. And I stand with Philip very strong on the team. And Carnies, if we really want betterment, let me go there and make it now. Thanks. Pleasant good night.
One people under one God. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build it, we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Yeah, man. Darren Ramsey Paul. Once again, man. I'll give him a round of applause. I like to see young people with a passion, you know, for betterment now. You know what I mean? So, we keep things moving. We have two more shadow MPs, all right, two persons that you will be familiar with. And then we will get to the political leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Mr. Philip Edward Alexander. But before we get to him, we will first hear from David Welch, who is the Shadow MP for Lavantie East. Come forward, David.
People under one God. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build it, we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Somebody say Spartan! Duke, where are Duke? Somebody call Duke, call Farley, because we're mashing up the dance tonight. But next time, call Prime Minister Rowley Tufama. Call him, because gloves off. Gloves off. You have met the PEP team. You have met your candidates. I remember, Philip, when I first joined back in February. Remember what people said? People said, that party can't win nothing. They said, that party can't do nothing.
But I want to tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago tonight, and a big crowd, by the way, Philip, a big crowd. I want to tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago tonight that the PEP is here to stay. We took our gloves off.
You want the choppiness,
Gloves off, Trinidad and Tobago. Gloves off. Because the real Spartans are right here inside of this place tonight. The real Spartans are those that come out from Laventille. Laventille! So much years under the People's National Movement. I want to tell them that we come in to fight. We come in to fight and we come in to win. We come in to win. We come in to win.
You want the choppiness,
Hey, so much people don't like Philip. They don't like the PEP. They say, that's a one-man show. That's a one-man army. Well, tell them, jump out. Jump out in the dance. Come and see which part the one-man show is. Because I guarantee you, come election time, which probably is soon, we know. But come election time, Trinidad and Tobago, I kid you not, each and every single one of you here today have a vote. Or like I believe I come with a speech too? But we need no speech when we're inside of the PEP because everything does flow so naturally. Let me tell the people something. I have my crew here tonight. I want to say special good night to Margaret Lucas, special good night to Leslie Ann Welch, special good night to Leah Hosford, special good night. Good night. Good night to the people that stand with me, Kurt Batiste. Good night to you. Each and every one of you have a background, and I have 2 minutes. But each and every single one of us have a background here tonight. You see this team in the corner here, Trinidad and Tobago? This team come out to work. When I first came into the party, I saw people like Darren Seapaul. I saw people like Dion Richards come in. Miss Esther in the front seat. Kurt, every single individual here tonight. This is a real Spartan team. And I'm going to tell you something. When we get into office, you ain't going to see no stupidness like what you're seeing in Tobago, you know. You ain't going to get none of that. You're going to get one people under one flag. That's what we stand for. One people under one flag. And they say one leader too. But we're going to have the best prime minister Trinidad and Tobago could ever see, He tell me careful, he will box back too. When he boxing, tell him he boxing with Spartans, and we'll have until that. So, Laventille East Mover, honestly, right now, you know, we have a lot of problems, all right? And with all the wildness, I am here to be a member of parliament for the area. I ain't going with the shadow. I'm going for the member of parliament for the area. So I want to tell Adrian Leons that I know you ain't really had a fight with UNC, but you're going to have a fight with the PEP. A hard fight too, because Reese, you realize the DJ working now, right? Somebody say sabotage. But I am pledging today because I want my colleagues to really understand what service is and what they're being called upon to do today. Because this is extraordinary. This is extraordinary, in fact. When I first started as an activist, I didn't expect to be here. I mean, things happened along the way, and it moved from just talking about the issue and running down in front of the parliament, getting locked up, had court cases, thanks again, Philip. But it moved from all of that to really wanting better for country, because I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life, having to argue, fight, and it's time for change. It's time that we just elect people that could really govern our affairs. So for Laventille East Movement, we have everything there we need to sustain ourselves. We could have tourism in Laventille East Movement. We have the lookout. We can have sustainability right there in Laventille East Mover, where, you know, Mover Junction roundabout, people within the community should have gotten the responsibility to handle that project. Schools are an issue in Laventille East Movement. And just poverty. And I can give you the assurance that those are the issues that I pledge to address alongside the political leader. Those are just some of the issues in Laventille East Mover that needs addressing. And I want to thank each and every one for coming out. You know, the UTAM is here in full force with the UTAM members. Somebody say, yeah, with the UTAM. The UTAM like the shy. But the UTAM is out here. My family is out here for the first time ever. And I'm wrapping up now, Philip. My family is out here for the first time ever. For the first time ever, my mother is here at a political meeting. I just want to say thank you for being here. Truly, truly amazing to have you here. She's saying, I'm in the back as well, too. Eh? She said, oh, God, look at you wiling up yourself. But I am so blessed to be in the Progressive Empowerment Party. I'm so blessed to have a leader, a dynamic leader like Philip Edward Alexander. That name had a register in all their brain, but I think it registered in minds. But Philip Edward Alexander. He is a dynamic leader. You'll trust me. Many of you have not heard him. I've seen all the comments on social media. When I say hear him, I mean in person, like this, one-on-one. The man, he's so loving, even for Rum Shop Talk, he just get my vex when Bella come. And she jump up on him, and he go say, baby, no, go in the back. You know, Daddy doing a show, he'll embrace her there. If you walk into Rum Shop Talk, he might pull you on the platform too. But I just tell you that he is one of a kind. You don't get that in politicians, but you get that in the PEP team. You have Felicia Holder, chairman. I don't know what to say with this one, huh? I don't know what to say, but Stefan Reisman talking for years about the issues in Trinidad and Tobago. But I'm going to leave it there. Somebody says Spartan for me now. Let me hear it. Spartan. And let me just hear everyone say PEP. Say it again, PEP. And we're coming out on election day and we are voting for the Progressive Empowerment Party. Thank you.
One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote. PEP.
Sabotage. You see, when you're part of the technical team and you're in cahoots with the DJ, you know what I mean? Look how much time I call for tune. Nothing. A man get about 25 song effects. Yeah, yeah. Play one for me. Play one, just one song effect. Let's go one.
You want the choppiness to start, eh?
Yes. You see? They all kind of like they planned that, like they went through that like all week now. When I say this, drop that. And then when I say that, drop that. And when I do Philip so, drop that. You know? Well, they plan all that thing, man. Man run out like Floyd Money, Mayweather and all kind of thing. Yes, sir. But that is the head of the UTAM and the shadow MP for Laventille East Mover. And we have one more. You met her a little earlier this evening. She is the chairman of the PEP, and she's also the shadow MP for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. Give Felicia Holder another warm round of applause. Felicia.
One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
I love it. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Felicia Melanie Liana Holder. Yes, I have all those names. And I am your shadow MP for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. And while that does not automatically make me your member of parliament, let me tell you why you should vote for me. There is a lamppost number 18 Belmont Valley Road. It's not Belmont Valley Road. It's in front of Valley Road and a popular alignment spot that I pass for weeks upon weeks. And this light pole, this light works at least for probably about 30 minutes every night. So for the rest of the night, the street is in darkness. And I've been passing that light for weeks, and I've been asking people in the area, that not bothering you all? And they say, well, yeah, well, we don't know what to do about it. This lamppost is a minute away from the councillor, Nicole Young's office, and miles away from Stuart Young, who's the MP. He only passes in the ghetto when he wants votes. So he doesn't know about this light. So I spoke to the people in the area, and I said, if this is a problem for you, I am going to fix it. On Sunday morning, this Sunday morning that just passed, I got a call from a TN Tech truck. They said, Miss Ola, we're on our way. We're going to fix the light post. I didn't call Philip. Philip didn't know about this one. I didn't have any links in TN Tech, and like Sheldon Khan said, the process of reporting anything in this country is very lengthy and tedious, but I did it. And I did it because sometimes leadership just means stepping up and getting the job done. That is what I want to bring to Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. This is my constituency, and I am aware that the problems in Belmont are as unique and important as the problems in Cascade. My job is to unite all of those areas. Belmont, Cascade, Gonzales, St. Clair. My job is to unite and be that hope for these areas, to let you all know that the lack of representation that you have long experienced is over. I'm not your MP, but I'm your shadow MP, and you can call on me. Myself and my other 9 candidates, we ready, we working, let's fix this. Thank you.
One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote to PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP. All right, so a round of applause for Felicia Holder once again, party chairman. And now we come to the part of proceedings where you have met your 10 shadow MPs. Once again, just to recap them very quickly. Akil Camps, Diego Martin Northeast, Anthony Henry, Komuto Manzanilla, Dion Richards, Maruga Tableland, Sheldon Khan, Point Fortin, John Solomon, Siparia, Ravi Sicharan, Princess Tong, Umra Jaikaran Singh, Point Apia, Darren Ramsey Paul, Karani East, David Welch, Lavanti East Mova, and Felicia Holder, Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. Nice, man. So now, I want to take too long because I know this man have plenty to say. If anybody ever follow him on Facebook when he doing his lives, you know he always have plenty to say. If you ever take in Rum Shop Talk, you know he always have plenty to say. So, he has been fixing a lot of the problems that people, you know, have in certain communities across Trinidad and Tobago. They reach out to him. I think he has a terrific team behind him as well. And that's one of the things you must have in this particular sphere, this political, you know, game. All right, in politics, you must have good people behind you to get the job done. And there must be a willingness to get it done. And I think that's why he's as successful as he has been over the past few years in taking, in forming a political party and bringing it from nothing to something. And I know after the last election, he said he wasn't going back again and he was going to step down as political leader. And somehow or the other, he ended up as the political leader still. But I think that's what the team wanted. And I think it was a team decision. And to go from contesting a general election and then contesting a local government election, I think it was a by-election. It was a by-election. And you all BDP NM. Not so? That's right. Yeah. I mean, some people might look at it as a small accomplishment, but anything progressive is an accomplishment, and that's progress. So without further ado, we want to introduce to you and call to the podium to speak to you the political leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Mr. Philip Edward Alexander. Give him a round of applause, man.
We're ready, yeah, we're ready, 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 we're ready, yeah, we're ready, 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 ready. Look how the sun now raising up, and the crowd now waking up. The atmosphere have vibes, and nothing can break it up. The girl them a wine on.
Yeah? Good night. You know, when you're sitting down there where I was sitting and listening to everybody speak, the time flies. And looking into this sea of faces tonight, and I want you to give yourselves a big round of applause, please. Because Satish and Felicia could tell you we come from far. We've had meetings where the three of us was it. And Stefan was right. It's been a long journey. When everybody speaks about politics in this country, they speak from their perspective. Why it's not working for them? That's what brings people to the conversation. You talk to somebody and things working for them, I don't even know politics. But when they realize that it's not working, when whatever they were holding on to is exposed, and they see, and they call on people. Because a couple weeks ago, Sunday night, I by my parents, and my son was driving in Diego Martin, and a fella got knocked down. And he called me, because he said this fella on the side of the road, and they're trying to get an ambulance, and we don't know what to do. And it reminded me of every other time I get a call from somebody that in an emergency or a crisis, there are people here tonight that's their condition. They have a crisis and they don't know who to turn to. I have had to ask people who've messaged me with problems, have you spoken to your member of parliament? That's their job. That's their job. Have you spoken to your member of parliament? Because your member of parliament's job is to represent the 30,000 people that make up the constituency. That's what they're paid for. That's what they get the big salary for. They get paid to represent all of those people. And none of the members of parliament in this country do that. And none do it because we've let them get away with that. When we say that we only see our member of parliament at election time and we still vote for that, that is not them abusing us. That is us abusing ourselves. That is us saying to them, I know that you don't do nothing for me, but go and take a big salary. That's what it means. Now the point that Kurt could tell you, because he's a political leader, and I want to tell you, brother, thanks a lot for coming. I want to tell you, thanks a lot for coming. And I want to tell Pundit Donny, who just left. You all may not know, but Pundit Donny was the person responsible for cleaning up the pond in St. Madeleine. He coordinated that. He should get a round of applause for that. He fixed that. And when he called me on the phone, he said, Phil, this, we're not seeing the water. It completely covered. Can you help? Me and Satish ended up down in St. Madeleine before the sun rise. And I was there with them. First time I saw that pond, I never went before. And he was there with his team. And they did morning prayers with the sun rising. I'll never forget that experience. And people came out. And as usual, people come out when you call them out. And you say, look, we need to fix this. And people come. And they make a difference. And the only thing that is holding Trinidad and Tobago together is the good hearts of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. It is not the government. It is not the opposition. They do not care about you. I could say that without fear of contradiction. They do not care about you. All of the rain that fell today, that flood this country today, line up for a drainage system designed to wash it out to sea. Not to capture it, not to hold it, to throw it in the sea. No matter how much fall, it could reach up to your neck with flood. At some point, all of it will end up in the sea. None of it is kept. We do not have a water policy that works for you. We have a water policy that works for Dominic Hadid and Blue Waters. We have a water policy that works for the fellas with the private trucks because Wassa tell you, don't buy no water. Don't buy no water. If you have no water, call we the water free. But when you call them, they say we coming in 2 weeks. And Akil Nelly couldn't come today because he didn't want to come smelling nasty. He had to bed, he went out with a tank and get your own water. And if that was not bad enough, there's a saying, adding insult to injury. And the insult to that injury that they add is that former members of parliament who know that our water policy is called catch it in the hill and throw it in the sea, they know you don't have water. And they know that water is an important thing for your life. So they've conned us into accepting desalination of seawater when more water falls on this country in a year than we could use. More water. We have more water. And I've spent years, I've walked up every river. Some of y'all know those videos. I walk up the rivers, I show them the start of the Maraval, the start of the Chagaramas, start of Diego Martin. I went up on top Cumberland Hill during a heavy rainstorm and I showed them the mud plume. I say, you see that? That's the topsoil that washing down all these mountains and washing out to the sea. And I show them, I say, you see that plume? That place there is called Westmoreland. You see that plume is 4 times the size of Westmoreland. Water don't just flow on the surface. Water don't just flow on the surface. That is a full body of proper fresh water that you, the people of Diego Martin, Maraval, Woodbrook, St. Anne's, Cascade, Barataria, Sawa, right through. That water supposed to be captured and held to be treated and distributed. That is the PEP's water policy. That is our water policy. We live in a country with a rainforest climate. We've been spat out of the Amazon. Trinidad's whole black water that you see on our leeward side, the reason you're seeing black water, that is called the Orinoco flow. That is what flows straight to Trinidad and Tobago. Capybara swimming from Venezuela and Brazil into Trinidad. That's what we get to now. We have the same climate as the Amazon. If Trinidadians stop cutting grass for a month, grass reach your neck. If we weren't here, Trinidad would be a rainforest. So how do we not have water? Has to be by deliberate design. To sell this, to pay for desalination, $500 million a year is that contract. $500 million. 500 million. Now, if you put that in the perspective of hampers like Precious and David, Felicia, they take care of that for the people who come to us hungry. You can't feed the children. You get 2 hampers for $500. So that means for the money that we spend desalinating water that we do not need to desalinate, 1 million people could get 2 hampers each. And that's just one thing. That's just one thing. We don't calculate in our heads. Philip say $500 million. Philip say $1 billion. But we don't calculate that that comes out of our pocket. We pay that. The members of parliament do not pay taxes. They are not paying that. You are paying the $100 million to mine them. You are paying the $50 million in tax breaks for vehicles for them every 2 years. You are paying the $500 million to desalinate water that we do not need to desalinate. You are paying the $1 billion to operate WASA that is not operating. You are paying the $1 billion every year lost on the port. Port business is the only business in the world that can't lose money except in Trinidad and Tobago. Port business is the biggest business in the world and will continue to grow and be the biggest business in the world because everything in this room, look around, everything shipped. Everything. The chair you're sitting on, the paint that painted, everything shipped. Our port lose $1 billion every year, every year, every year, every year. How? How is that possible? A monkey on roller skates can make our port profitable. How is ours losing money? How? $500 million, the 2 Oompa Loompas have called me, Bert and Rohan Senanan, just spend building the Tanti 1% flyover to West Mall. Nobody in the country need it. $500 million. You pay for that. You pay the $500 million to paint the Red House. You pay that, the $51 million to paint some doors. You pay that. You are making people rich. You, when people drive and splash you in the Porsche Cayenne, you pay for that. Enjoy the splash. Say, wet me. I buy that. And you have to understand, you the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you who are watching, who are listening, this is the furthest thing in the world, the furthest thing is this could ever be about me. Not a single person, not Stefan, nobody here, not Kurt. Kurt is a boxer, Kurt is a sportsman. Nobody here want to be in politics. Not one of us. Not one of us. But those who are in politics beating us to death. I want to show you something. They only have one political party in this country that is tell the truth. Only one. I'll give you an example. Today, yes, the PEP. Today, somebody sent something to me. I want to play this from my phone through the microphone.
Our constitution was drafted that the special branch reports to whom? Take a guess who the special branch reports to. Not the Commissioner of Police. The Prime Minister. People don't know that. It is a fact. I was the Minister of National Security and I was the Commissioner of Police. I can tell you, they report directly to the Prime Minister. There are two special branch officers here tonight that are actually macroing and watching everything that is being said. Because, now Lauren, don't look around. They're just doing their job. But I'll tell you why. Because the role and function of the special branch, listen, is to attend every political meeting by opponents of the government and report to the Prime Minister who attended and what was said. Ladies and gentlemen, this is dictatorship. It must end.
Right. But you was the Minister of National Security. And it didn't matter to you then when it was working for you. And that is what upsets me. And you were the Commissioner of Police. But when you and Rowley was good, it wasn't a problem that Special Branch was reporting to Rowley. Because we now hear you talk about that. And I want you to understand, my partner Kurt was at that meeting too. And I want you to understand, I know Gary since I was a little boy. But politics in this country cannot be about who is your friend and who you like. Politics in this country has to be about the truth in Trinidad and Tobago. Tell me the truth. I don't want sound effects. Save them for Stefan. And I'm not just out to knock Gary, but I want to knock him early so that he understands I am not your friends in the media. I am not your political partners or your 1% friends. I will call you out, brother. You were the National Security Advisor to a Prime Minister when Special Branch was reporting to her. How come it wasn't dictatorship then? Keith Rowley told this nation, I went to the Prime Minister in August 2003. Tell him about massive bid rigging in Unicott. That speech was given in the Parliament in 2009. I went to the Prime Minister in August 2003. But you're telling us in 2009. Why we now finding out? Because Calder had fire you. So you no longer have cabinet food and cabinet wine. So we get to find out. And that is why you cannot trust Keith Rowley. And that is why you cannot trust any politician who comes to you and tells you those problems only after they get fired. That is not somebody you could trust. So when I hear people say about the things that people say about Philip, bad talk me. I didn't come here for friends. I come here to tell you the truth. And the truth will set this country free. But it will piss you off first, I'm telling you that. But the truth, you could go back. I have done thousands of hours of live video. I am the most documented politician in this country. And I have said the same thing. I have asked Keith Rowley, how do you know which tongue to talk with today? Every time you speak, you say something convenient to the moment. That's not what you want from your leaders. You want one thing. When you speak to me, tell me the truth. We've had situations happen in this country where ministers have openly lied to the people, and we knew they were lying while they were speaking, and it was allowed to continue. You think any friend of any minister have any old blue notes they're looking to get change? That's not for them, that's for you. But what make them better than you? What make them better than you? When David Lee get charged yesterday, I said, slow your roll. This ain't new. This is not the first time that a government or opposition MP have taken advantage. It's not the first time somebody in religion. There are people who benefit from tax-free status in this country that have been doing this for decades. And I have asked for decades, why are these people getting tax-free to purchase multi-million-dollar vehicles? Why? The $50 million every 2 years, that's the estimate. $50 million. Stephen Cadiz wrote about it last night, and then he had to say in the end, he benefited from 2 vehicles. You've never had a politician in this country tell you in advance, we will cut out that exemption from politicians if we are in office. There are many reasons to cut it out, but the most important reason is, you see, big shot-itis. Big shot-itis is what's stopping them from serving you. When you pull into a job and you used to be driving a Yaris, and all of a sudden you're in a Range Rover with hand-stitched leather, you can't talk to Yaris people again, you move up. If your whole constituency is B14 and Yaris, if you find all your MPs in Bayshore and Goodwood Park, they drive into that level now. We need to make sure that the people who come to serve, serve. You know, it's a good deal. At the end of the 5 years, you could get some kind of bonus. Because the Progressive Empowerment Party also says, our first act is institute recall, so that the same people who hired you could fire you if you're not doing the job. That is massively important. And you have to get every other politician to agree to that before you hire them. Because if you vote Stuart Young into office as the Member of Parliament for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, and Stuart Young don't know the sufferation going on in Belmont, Cascade, and St. Anne's, those people should be able to fire Stuart Young and hire somebody else to come and take care of the business. That's the job. Yes. Bring her up here. You want to come and talk on the mic? Look how brave. Look how brave. Hello. The next thing the Progressive Empowerment Party say we're going to take away is blue lights. Taking it away. If you're responsible for traffic, but you could evade traffic, what motivating you to fix traffic? I must sit down in a cabinet and the minister works on transport, reach late. I say, who to blame but you? If they have traffic and you're not fixing it, what is the good of you? I want my Minister of Health to lie down comfortable in Mount Hope. Comfortable. Don't come and tell me, boss, I go do all them stunts. But you see me Charan, I want them to go Miami. No, sir. Mount Hope, not West Shore. Mount Hope, San Fernando, Point 14, Arima, Port of Spain. Go and lie down. Watch me. If it's smelling a pee-pee, fix it. You will know firsthand. Nobody will come and tell you. I want to take away all them tax break. I want my ministers calling. You see the price of corned beef, boy? I want that. When people tell you that you have to give those perks that attract the brightest and the best, I tell them, all you lucky they are children here today. I tell them, I say, where in our government is the best and the brightest? It's not working. It backfire. We don't have the best and the brightest. Who's the best and the brightest? Terence Dialsing, Stuart Young, Faris Al-Rawi, Rohan Sinanan. Rohan Sinanan gets scared by a little flashing orange light. See that? Frighten him. You know why? Because he tell all you, fix the road, and we take him seriously. You want me to show you? We go come and do it. It panic him. I want him to see. I want the cameras to show. We have 150 of them. People coming to buy barrel now. They say, I want a barrel. I put in it in front of my house. That is how we go do it. We will terrorize him with that flashing orange light. Rohan Sinanan, you mustn't sleep in the night. People, listen now. Dion could tell you. The people, Dion used to come and see me, boy. Dion used to say, boy, Philip, you had to come Maruga, boy. You had to come Maruga. And you know me, eh? I duck in that. I try in all how I ain't going Maruga. Sheldon can't call me, boy. Oh, Sheldon can't used to ring up my phone. I duck in that. Satish tell me, you're not running for elections in town. You had to go Maruga. So we go on Maruga. And when we reach Maruga, everything that the people of Maruga were saying about the conditions of the place and how they were living, they didn't emphasize it enough. We drove through roads. We had a whole caravan went with us. And the road, this is how the road fall apart. Eh? One car of the caravan on the right lane, about 12 feet above the caravan car on the left lane. And we filmed that. And we filmed Miss Lorna's house, remember? And I seen the member of parliament posting picture after picture after picture, but they couldn't find her. They couldn't find her. And she wasn't getting the job done. She's taking the credit now because they're on the unrolling pitch in Maruga because the Progressive Empowerment Party was there. And they're fixing it. And all of them trying to boast, look at fix. And I want to say to you, we take this with pride. We take this with pride. If you go to Point 14, my job is not to mediate between ketchup and mustard. My job is not to say which one less worse. Both of them bad. But the Point 14 highway, we spend we money. Open the highway. Give the people, you know much people here from Point 14, and I just feel sorry for that crew. Because everywhere we go in the day, and I just think to myself, because I've been to Point 14 a couple times. And driving to Point 14 is not easy. You have to get accustomed to that abuse to even consider coming out of Point 14. You have to be saying to yourself, I could do this. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to put, and I say this to you all, free of any contradiction. I do not need the work. When people refer to me as future Prime Minister and thing, I still blush. I still give you an uneasy smile. I don't want that job. I know that we can do the job. And if you give us the job, it will not be like what you've seen, business as usual, as a prime minister in this country for the past 30, 40 years. Can't be. It can't. Listen now. Only arrest and charge David Lee yesterday, but Patrick Manning import a vehicle and in 1 month sold it to Nankisoon Budra. And plenty people don't know that that was his real name. Patrick Manning imported a vehicle to this country, used his parliamentary privilege to import a vehicle for Dole JD. And he was the Minister of Mines and Energy. Patrick Manning should have gone to jail. We made him Prime Minister. He should have gone to jail. When they arrest and charge David Lee yesterday, if he wrong, charge him, prosecute him. But don't be using the justice system of the country in an uneven way. I'm not going to like that. I'm not going to stand by and say that that is okay. That could never be, because you never know when you're ignoring wrongdoing. You never know when that wrongdoing could fall on you. It could fall on your loved ones. And this is mission critical, that we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to tell ourselves, red, white, black, green, every shade in between. This is our country. It belongs to all of us. Everybody who is elected to public office must serve all of us equally. All the laws, all the state, all the organizations, everything that taxpayers' money touch must benefit all of us equally or not at all. And we have to believe that we are entitled to that. We have to believe that we are entitled to that. And that is why you have to stop making royalty out of these people. They don't deserve it. If you want to hero worship somebody, hero worship the member of parliament who, because he was your member of parliament, life changed for you and your family. That the constituency working. Hero worship that person. Tell them I will vote for that person again. But don't vote for people just because of the party that they're in. Don't vote for people just because of their race. Don't vote for the people because of the color of their shirt. Vote for people to serve you. That's the job. All of these guys and our one female, I don't know how that happened. Now we had two, but one sick. But every couple of weeks we're going to launch more. But all of them could tell you, in this political party, we have children here, boy. But I know they have certain slangs. This is a go-bar-free zone. Yeah? You cannot get away with nonsense in this party. We don't allow it. There is very little distance between me and the team. There is not a damn dog bark thing in this party. Yeah? I work hard because I know what I expect of my team. And I know the kind of people that on my team. They ain't go sit down there and say, so you on the beach and we working? They're not taking that. And it is imperative to all of you to start now. Put your member of parliament under pressure to deliver. Put them under pressure to deliver now. If you're catching your tail, if the school ain't working, if mosquito biting, if crime and shooting, go by a member of parliament. He's only come on a Thursday. Everybody go there Thursday. And if he don't come, the media will come. And they will say that everybody in this constituency want to fire the MP. Let that be the news. Let it be the news in all the constituencies where the members of parliament not working. And let it be the news until it reach the Prime Minister office. Until they say, brother, the buck stops with you. Your team failing. Your team. I want to say this to you, and I really want this, and this is why I do that live video. This is why I do all those videos and go out on the road and talk so hard. People just talk about Philip aggressive. I want you to hear that passion. I want you to hear me reach up high and pull them down low. I want you to know that they are not above you, they are below you. They are public servants and they are supposed to be serving you, and they're not going to get any special treatment from me until they do that job. Until they do that job. And I want 1.4 million Trinbagonians to wake up our parliament, wake up our government, wake up the cabinet, wake up your member of parliament and tell them business as usual is over. That the Progressive Empowerment Party is putting shadow MPs on the ground. That without being paid, the big money that you being paid, our shadow MPs are coming to show that they could have always delivered. That they could have always fixed it if they wanted to. And it's important. And it's important that we, the people, stop accepting the nonsense that takes place between the PNM and the UNC and their destruction. We have to stop accepting that. Stop letting them distract you. Their job is to serve. If somebody gets murdered in this country, it should stop the whole country. We should want a resolution. We're living in a country where people are arguing about less than 10% of murders are solved. Less than 10% are solved. That means 90% of the murderers are walking free to murder again. They say the first murder is the hard one, you know. After that, of the 10% that they are interdicting, how much of them are they prosecuting? Of that 10, how many actually get? Let's talk about some of the big cases that finish. The lady from Extra Foods, who they cut up on the pool table. Case mash up, everybody gone their way, nobody convicted. Remember that? Dana Sitahal. When Dana Sitahal was murdered, Gary Griffith was Minister of National Security. He was fired. That party lost office. There's another party in office 7 years now, and still no resolution. How is that possible? How is it possible when Vernon de Lima, and there is a video with Vernon talking that they use and they share to talk about this is how we should fix it. And they're not telling you that they're so ridiculous. They thief that interview from my video. Because Vernon was talking to me. It is only when he was talking to me, he could have been frank and candid and said that we could fix it. That you should not have cases taking more than a year. That the judge has the responsibility to case manage. The Progressive Empowerment Party, after much consultation with former directors of public prosecution, senior police officers, criminal defense attorneys, we have done research, local, regional, international, and we've come up with a policy for the management of crime and punishment in the country. That if you arrest somebody, you have 24 hours to charge them or release them. If you charge them, you have 6 months to prosecute or the case collapse. If you begin to prosecute, you have 1 year to convict. And I'll tell you why. There are people in this country, David Lee is going to walk around with that charge over his head for years. Anand Ram Logan is walking around with a charge over his head. Marlene McDonald, Stuart Young's stepdaughter. Again, why is our justice system so bad? Why? Of the 5 things we asked for after Andrea Barrett was murdered, one of them was a commission of inquiry into the criminal justice system. Prime Minister said, commission of inquiry don't work. But you're having a commission of inquiry into how his government murdered 4 men in a pipe. They don't even have internet. The commissioner, who I expected that they hire the partner, I said that's how they just move. They want an outcome. But this man so upset, he said, I ain't get pen and paper, boy. Progressive Empowerment Party say we will deliver stationery tomorrow. Minister of Communication say, wait. We're going to solve the problem. We're not playing no blame game. He in the media was to drag the Minister of Communications over the coals. You have to identify who was to blame and fire that person. It's not a blame game. It's called accountability. That's how it works. If that was a private sector job, if that was a private sector job, you think he was getting away with that? And that's our reality. And we could talk, and I know that as you say, I talk a lot. But the issues that affect you and your life, when you study that the estimated value of the security for people's houses from the lighthouse to Shagaramas is worth $10 billion. That's from the lighthouse to Shagaramas. That's about 100,000 people. That is too much money to be spending on security in a country that spends $9 billion in national security. So we paying you to secure us, but we also spending money to secure ourselves. We're paying you for water, but we also spending money to store water. And when that don't come, we're spending money to buy water. How much times we're paying you to educate our children, but we're paying for extra lessons after the classes. We're paying you for public health, but we're also paying to go private health because public health killing people. How many things in this country are the taxpayers paying for twice? Check yourself. That's what's wrong with Trinidad and Tobago. And now you're spending $100 million for a whole government, and PEP had to come and give you a better government too. But this one, taxpayers ain't paying for that one. Get me? I'm going to wrap up. I want to tell you this. Now that we have 10 pairs of boots on the ground, well, 9, Omra, people ask me, how do we choose our candidates? How do we choose them? By race? By are you perfect in your body? All we want. Gender? Care about that? Who you're praying to? Don't tell me about that. We want patriots. We want people who you could trust. We want people who you know that if you give them the job, they will keep their word and they will deliver. And that is what you got tonight in our 10 shadow MPs. And in a couple weeks, you're going to get 10 more. And I tip in your this to tell you this. Pundit Donny, he tell me he quit. I quit what was keeping me back. So I ready put a PEP jersey on me. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Stefan with pride today when he walked through that door, he said, give me a PEP jersey now. It's only me ain't going to be wearing one. I say, you know what? He had a talk after, a little girl lashback, eh? Our reality as a country has to be 1.4 million people being served by government. That's it. 1.4 million people being served by government. We want the government, when the Minister of Finance comes to talk and tell us the budget, we want it to make sense. Don't just tell me you're spending $1 billion here and $2 billion there and don't break it down and give it to me where that money going. Because that's how they thief in, straight from in your pocket, and have your children suffering. All the people who messaging me and telling me how hard their life is, the question I ask you all the time is, did you go to your member of parliament first? Because it is important. And we have to start to put aside all this false pride and shame. You see this thing we have in Trinidad where we don't know how to tell people we catching we aunt, uncle, and nenen? We have to start saying it. We have to talk it. Because it is only then we will start to tell one to another, hey boy, it's hard, boy. Life in Trinidad, hard. People sneaking out of Trinidad and Tobago. They're sneaking out. They don't want to be here no more. They have nobody happy in Trinidad. When you see Lindsay Gillette and Pauline, what's her name? Aboud. When you see them put up gates in Bayshore, The kind of gates they put up in Bayshore to keep people out of Bayshore, that is not happiness. That is fear. You cannot be living in that kind of fear and be happy. No 1% happy in this country. Nobody happy in Trinidad and Tobago. Look at Richard Azar. Richard Azar he had to put camera in the park to watch his own house. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him. You could imagine how fearful you have to be for you to put cameras all the way across the road watching your own house. Who you think coming for you? Nobody happy. Nobody happy, Trinidadians. If we're not drunk or high or stoned, we're not happy. We're not. It is not a good place to live right now. Trinidad is the worst place in the world to live right now. And we could fix that because Trinidad is biblical Eden. Trinidad is paradise. God gave us more here than he was supposed to give anywhere. And we've let people come and pretend to be dividers by race and religion and thief everything from us. We allow that and want to talk God as a Trini. We have an opportunity because there exists a progressive empowerment party. Let us not waste that opportunity. We have announced the first 10 shadow MPs. Before Christmas, you will have all 41. The Progressive Empowerment Party is telegraphing to the government that we're ready. Call your election, brother. And we're sending a message to the opposition. The people no longer have to wait and play eeny, meeny, miny, mo. They're going to have a real option to deliver representation that protects them and their family and serves them. And we want the people of Trinidad and Tobago to seize this moment. This is the time for all of us to come together and stand together under that umbrella. The Progressive Empowerment Party has the policies and the people to make Trinidad and Tobago better for all of us. Thank you very much.
We're ready, yeah, we're ready, 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 we're ready, yeah, we're ready, 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 ready. Look how the sun now raising up, and the crowd now waking up. The atmosphere have vibes, and nothing can break it up. The girl them a wine non-stop, we had the drinks them in a my cup. We gonna party all night, 24 parties we hit in a row. Tonight at the very last show, before we head out on the road. The girl them a release.
All right. So once again, give it up for the political leader of the PEP, Philip Edward Alexander. Now, as promised, because we must keep our word, though we are a bit limited on time, but anybody who have any questions, we just accommodate a few questions. If you have any problems within your community that need fixing, all right, now is the time to take the podium to the back, and we just ask that you keep it short and sweet. So, gentleman in the blue. Okay, they're coming to deal with it. In the meantime, if you want any information on any policies of the PEP, you could go to peptt.com and check out the website. They have all the information there on the political party. And you could also take this number, 719-2888. That is 719-2888. That is one of the contact numbers that you could get. Felicia Holder, can I get you on that number? Okay. All right, so that's peptt.com. So as soon as you're ready down there, we'll give people the opportunity to put a question to the political leader, and he will have the opportunity to give you an answer. All right.
Good night to you all.
Nice one.
Good night, everybody. Welcome to Bamboo Settlement number 1. For those who are not living here, Mr. Philip Alexander. Watch me good.
Yes, sir. David.
Yes, sir.
You good?
Yes, sir.
Nice to see you. Things under control?
I've known you since I was 13 years old. 15. People, although they watch just simple. I'm asking you, if you're sick, come to do this job, do it for the people, do it for the children, and fed up the politics game you are playing right now. I'm fed up. Most people already don't know you how I know you. I have ruled for you as my boss. I have took from you. You never sent me to jail. Understand? You say when you talk to me, my mom worked for you. I work for your family. I'm 48 years. My son is now 19. I'm living in Bamboo here. They say I can make it 11 years. It's the best community I've ever lived in. I came here, I worked to go on in the field. There's nothing on if you call the field mash up. There's nothing on for the youth in Bamboo 1 because the field mash up. Everybody come around doing the same khaki pants. I do not want you to come and do the same khaki pants, to dance in the same khaki pants. Because something in the background watching and waiting, quite get emotional. They said, David Welch, you're the UNC person, he had to say about you now here on your party now. I don't give a flu. But I hope he can put your money where your mouth is. Because they don't know you. I know you.
Come on board.
God is my boss. I work with God. But I want God work. I want you to make sure you have God. I want to make sure you work alongside God.
Come and help us and we will fix like the field and stuff for you. I promise you.
Son.
I'll talk to you after this one-on-one.
I need to get things done for the people in Bamboo 1. What people have been telling me. I'm working.
This office here now, from today, is open. This office open from today. And as you say, you know me. So you know me if I tell you that this office, you bring the people here to talk to Satish, and we will make sure what need to fix in Bamboo, fix.
Because I don't want to come and get the same khaki pants. I'm saying again.
We don't even own a khaki
pants. Everybody want to put their hand in cookie jar. Just for instance,
you know me too well to say that.
Right, just a few seconds. I don't have a function doing on the islands right now. I'm supposed to go and pick up the equipment there. I'm doing some engineering also. I'm still doing OTs. Yes, I'm still doing my OTs. Going on in the islands there, observe where is it in between spaces like a sea, like a capital C. So asking both man, I say 1, 2, 3 houses, massive houses. Who own that? Sabga. Let's my country on the money. Or they're telling me my little country and trying to big old, I buy have no money, we have no this kind of that.
I want to promise you, Yavid.
Wow.
I'll tell you, come and talk to me after. All the things that you want to get done, we will show you how easy it is we can get it done. All right? No stress.
All right.
I put in God hands for that.
Yeah, man. All right, who's next?
Let everybody know that they can get refreshments.
And don't forget, we have refreshments to the back. All right, so if you want to wet your throat, you know, you can go to the back, some refreshments there. Yes, sir.
Good night. My name is Akim Mohammed. I am from everywhere in Trinidad, but presently I'm staying in Grandy. And do we have a representative for Grandy, a MP?
Here from us?
Yeah.
Not launched today, but possibly in the next 4 weeks. I will probably be doing it down by Grandy side.
Also, the next thing is, I don't mind vying for that position, 1. And 2, I'm here to represent for the LGBTQIA. Because I don't know if people noticed, recently we had the recent articles from the Pride that they had in Port of Spain. Now, it have a lot of people is against the LGBTQIA and against what it is. But what I want to say is that it's actually being honest to yourself. Now, if it is people can actually be honest and be able to be honest about who they are, then nobody would have to live in fear, right? Because they would know exactly who it is they're dealing with.
Correct.
And the political parties that we dealt with before never did anything about it.
I want to be able to tell you that the leader of, I don't want to say your organization, that was responsible for getting certain things decriminalized, Jason Jones. You can speak to him about us, because our political party is the party he used to come to talk to get support. So our policy, and I'm saying it like this because this is our policy, we don't care who you're praying to or who you're lying down with. That's not our business. Our job is to serve and make life better for all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That's our job.
Thank you. Okay. And well, the Jason Jones case, I know it's still going on.
Still going on, yeah.
It's still going on, yes. And that's a matter that we would really like, to address, because other than the Jason Jones case, we have many cases of people.
Trinidadians now have to wake up to the reality that it takes all kinds of people to live in this world, and you could have your way and I could have my way, and as long as we could live together in harmony, nobody should have a problem with each other. That's how we need to live. And we've been divided for so long. They've divided us in so many different ways that people just walk around confused, fighting with one another, not even really meaning to fight, but that's our default position. And I know that the work that y'all do is a lot of good work to bring people on board and open their minds. And if you really are interested in getting involved politically, come and meet with us. The chairman's number is 7694590.
Yeah, I spoke to her earlier on.
Excellent.
About, well, as I said, presently I'm in Grandy, but I am from Trinidad because I move around often. And due to certain circumstances, and I would explain to you afterwards, I have moved around a lot. So to represent one exact consistency, I can't really do that, but I could represent a people, and I could represent everybody actually, because amongst the nation, I sure in every single family, they have somebody who going through something like this. And it is really sad, if you know what I mean.
Yes, we understand. And Honey, right. Looking forward to talking to you after we wrap up this session. Okay?
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for your contribution.
Okay, next. Yes, sir.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, creator of the heavens and the earth. Good night to everyone. Good night to Mr. Philip Edward Alexander, the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, so 2 questions. What are you going to do when you become Prime Minister to deal with the crime situation in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago? And what are you going to do where agriculture is concerned, where food security is concerned? Thank you.
I want to answer the second part first, because somebody brought up farming earlier in their contribution, Anthony Henry, I believe, and he mentioned the things that people need for farming: access roads and water. We also need to protect our farmers from predial larceny, and the Progressive Empowerment Party has a policy that licenses the sale and distribution of produce, so that if you're caught with produce without a license in certain quantities, you could be charged. With regards to the first policy, the first question, our policies, and Akil Kamps has said this repeatedly, our policies, if we put those policies in place and we get our people actualized, employed with opportunities to buy homes and educate their children, all of our policies will take care of these circumstances surrounding the crime in this country without us having to lock up and lock down. Our main drive is to secure the nation's borders against the importation of illegal guns, drugs, and ammunition that are fueling the crime wave in this country. That and the unnecessary poverty in a country where all of our people should be living happily needs to be addressed. And those are our crime prevention policies.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Good night, good night. Good night to people here on this platform. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and I come from the Workers' Rights Platform. Now, we does have some controversial topics there on that platform. And one of the main questions we put forward to the two political divide, the two major political parties within Trinidad and Tobago, is if, and I'm asking you this question here tonight because the both of them, we have asked them if they have any problem in meeting the people within the community. And both of them would have evaded the question and say we does a meeting or you attend the meeting. But the people is crying out on the ground. They want to see some form of representation. And all of them is using one set of euphemisms and all kind of nonsense to say, well, they ain't coming, because that way coming down to. My question to you is, Mr. Philip Alexander, because these are the two other people here that are from the same group. Is if you have a problem with meeting the people on the ground level because they're not seeing the opposition and they're sure not seeing the government right about now. I want to know if you have a problem with meeting the people on the ground level. And if your question is yes, I want to know if you have a problem in coming down to Point 14 and meet the groups of people down there in Point 14.
Stay right there, please. If you only know how much people here from Point 14, we have a real good support. I want to just say this there. They have no other political party in this country that runs their meetings with an unscripted open mic where everybody could come up and ask their questions and talk their mind. We are the only party that does that. So, and I want you to know, we are married to the ground. That is where we are, that's how we operate. That's why today we launch shadow MPs. We didn't launch people with fancy title. We launched people shadow MPs. You are a member of parliament, a constituency manager on the ground. No, I have absolutely no problem coming down Point 14. If I say that, I get licks before I leave here tonight. My crew here, my Point 14 crew big. So I promise you. No, watch. Look at our back up. Right? So I want to let you know, this, just coordinate the date and time, but Sheldon can. You have a shadow MP now in Sheldon can, so we want to come down as you're ready. Cool, look, Sheldon done reach by you already. Cool? Nice.
When I say point, I really mean point, and I really from library, but yeah.
Well, I know once I reach one, I could go in the other. I know. Any of the other guys want to say anything?
Yeah, good night. My name is Terry Shea. Good night, Philip Alexander and everybody. Two questions I just had to ask. I might get confused, but did you say Patrick Manning imported a car for the famous dealer? Okay, all right. No, all right. Chedi, right, for the people who don't know, is Dole Chedi. I speak him out. All right. Okay, the other question is, as you're in the topic of drugs, what is your plans in stopping the drugs and guns from coming in? Because Gary Griffith made a statement when he was the commissioner of police. He said the guns and drugs is coming in legally through the ports of
legal ports.
The legal ports. But he says that the police cannot enter into the ports. There's no authorization for the police to enter. So they cannot stop.
Could I answer that?
Yes, go ahead.
That is nonsense. everything that exists in this country exists and operates by a law. So if there is a law preventing law enforcement from securing the nation's ports, you just have to repeal that law or write a better law. And that is what the parliament is for. That is what the parliament is for. I am hearing all of these former and current commissioners and acting commissioners saying that the guns and the drugs coming through the legitimate ports. And no, we talk about that on Rum Shop Talk. Nobody talking about what you're doing to secure the port. I like the speed with which they could go and shut down the scrap iron dealers. Your stuff can't leave the country. But all kind of thing working in the country like it have legs. Our policy is to secure the nation's borders. We have, if you read one of our 21 policy documents, it is real short, it's 2 pages. Our manifesto is 2 pages long. We literally keeping it that simple. But securing the nation's borders includes securing the ports. We have spoken about, during the height of the pandemic, we was asking the government how you're securing the borders and COVID coming in. That's where you had heard the Yamami talk. That's where it come from. How you're going to have a second wave if the border locked down? How? So obviously you're not locking the border. And Trinidad is a tiny place. I deal with people in international jurisdictions. When Stuart Young said that they couldn't secure the borders, I said, you lie. You could imagine if you tell that place like Manhattan Island, you can't secure the borders. Trinidad is a dot in the ocean. There are technologies now, sonar buoys, unmanned aerial drones. You could secure Trinidad borders from America. You don't even have to be here. You don't have to physically be here to do it. So they are lying to you. Fitzgerald Hines, his first speech, I called Stephen Reese and I told him, I said, his first speech, I said, they're going to fire that man. They will never let him speak. Remember that? I tell him on the phone, I said, they will never let him speak again because he admitted that they weren't securing the borders. Faris Al-Rawi said in 2017 that the government always knew securing the borders was the solution. They talk that, like your partner say, plenty talk. We want to show people action. Give us the chance, and we will show you that. Yeah?
Good, good. All right, last 2 questions before I go, right? What is your plans in speeding up the judicial system, like having night courts? Where's the plans in there?
The fastest thing that you could do is put a timer on all cases. That there should be no more than 1 year for a case. So that the moment the judge starts the case management starts. And it is a running year. And when somebody stand up and asks for an adjournment, the judge have to ask the clerks how much time we have running on this clock in this case. Do we have time to allow for an adjournment? No. Adjournment denied. We have to complete. Because we said just now, I said it just now. If you arrest somebody, charge them in 24 hours or release them. And if you charge them, prosecute them in 6 months or the case collapse. And if you start the case, it must complete in a year or the case collapse. And judges whose cases collapse have to be sent to do another job. We need people who could understand that our justice system must be built on speedy justice, because justice delayed is justice denied.
Last question, right? This is the major question of all. Are you against constitutional reform with putting a referendum on it, where the people can have the...
Brother, it's we that talk that.
Okay, all right.
We are the ones that tell them that. We said we would put recall. We said, if you hired us to be the government, on the first day, we would want the whole country to come to the parliament. We're going inside and we're not coming outside until we pass recall as law. Referendum is important. I have done videos and explained to Trinidadians how referendum work. People think referendum is just a vote and that the government after could do what they want. A referendum, by law, if you have a referendum vote on something, whatever the people vote, the parliament has to be guided by. That means the public gets to have the say on important things like Caribbean Court of Justice over the Privy Council, like abortion rights, like death penalty. Those are big issues. And you can't make those decisions for yourself in a parliament. You have to give the people the opportunity to weigh in on that. Referendum is for that.
Good night, good night.
Good night.
I have one question. It may lead to three questions, right? In your own words, define the meaning of real unity.
Real unity? Real unity?
Yes. Not one-sidedness, not one-side government, not one-side nothing.
You know this party's slogan? This party's slogan is one people under one flag.
Right, but define it further.
They have no more further than that. One people under one flag. They're playing it whole day on the song. One people under one flag, that's us. Look at our symbol.
Okay.
See that symbol? Look at this. Our symbol, we are the only political party that have humans in our symbol together under an umbrella.
Right, now we already
Before
know.
NTA borrowed that thing.
Right, we already know. Now, majority of...
Are you satisfied with that answer though?
Yeah,
Because I want to
yeah.
tell you that is what we
Right.
believe.
This is why I'm asking the rest of questions. If I wasn't satisfied, I would have never asked the rest. Right? So, everybody already know, okay, the die-hard supporters of PNM is majority the racist ones or the ones who think. The die-hard supporters of UNC is majority the racist ones, and so it goes, right? Now, we have separation by that. We have separation by religion, as you said before, right? Now, we have separation by people as well from areas like, okay, like the Beatum, Lavanson.
Class separation.
Right,
Class.
okay. Now, everybody go say, no, why these rats protesting or what going on with these people? Now, we see, now, this problem didn't start today. It started from years back, and it just getting worse and worse presently today, right? Now, what is your goals concerning bringing that change to make the citizens of the ghetto and the normal citizens, as people want to say, as one?
Akil, I want to answer, you know, but I want my partner Akil to answer. I want to tell you. No, I want to tell you why. I want to tell you why. This party is not just me. This party is plenty of we.
Right.
Let me 10 today, right? But you need to understand that our policies brings everybody to the same place.
Food. We control the price of food. We bring food prices down, right? That ease up a certain strain. We bring the community back together by sports, right? Fixing healthcare, water, right? Home ownership, right? If everybody could afford to buy a home, what I'll do for you? You know what I'm gonna do? You're gonna buy a home wherever you live. Your neighbor will buy a home. So you all might be living in your own homes. You will get married, have children, your children growing up, your neighbor children growing up together.
No,
that's a bond.
That is really a good thing, because here why? My grandmother dead and gone, she already applied for HDC house. My mother keep renewing, nothing being done, right? No, so that is I read in the pamphlet. It's good ideas, right? But
Policies.
sometimes now,
Policies.
okay, policies, right? So not projects. Not projects, right?
No.
Right.
No, this setting in stone.
Right. So, now, concerning all of these things, right? Now, everything linked back to home, right? So, discomfort in home, concerning single parents, concerning everything starts from home. Charity begins at home and it ends well therein, right? What is all your goals dealing with family?
Well,
the reason he's talking up here about home, right? Because we've said jobs is job one. That everybody who wants a job should be able to have a job. Everybody who has a job and wants to own a home should be able to own a home. Those are two critical linchpins. The science says that people who are actualized, there's this thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And when you give people the opportunity to live up to their full potential and to deliver at the level that they created to live at, where their mind is at and where their soul and their spirit, the passion that they have for life, if they get to wake up every day and express that in the way that earns them a living, you make sure you give them the opportunity to own a home. Our policy for home ownership is to abolish the HTC. In fact, we want to abolish all the special purpose companies. We create zero deposit, zero interest for 30 years for first-time homeowners up to 1.5 million. People ask where that money coming from. If we put all our people in their own homes, we will be able to save the $9 billion that we're spending on national security every year. Because our policies, the last thing on our policies is crime. Because the things that cause crime, if you solve those things.
You have to look at it's not the major problem you have to look at. You have to look at the problem that's causing the problems.
Correct.
Right? So,
I am very interested in talking to the three of you all. Could we set up a meeting and have a conversation? Because I feel you all have, you all have a contribution to make. And I feel that we need to talk with you all and get you all involved. How about that?
We already planned that.
Nice.
I have one more question. Well, a few more questions.
Well, all right. Well, we had to keep it shorter because this is the last year. And we have a vote of thanks to come.
If you could let the guy behind you go first, though, because he didn't get a chance yet, and then you could ask. You don't mind that, right?
All right, good night, Philip Alexander.
Good night.
All right, this is actually my first time coming here, right? But it's not really a question. It's really a question I have and a vision too, but then more or less that I don't want to see the same thing happen in the past governments happening to you here. But here, wait on. I was a member of PEP with the, where you pay the little money and you have representation. Satish, this is for you. I had a leaking cesspit next to my home for 6 months. I called you many times. I told you my brother is in parliament. He's bandana spokesperson. I tell you I don't depend on favors. I put my trust and I put my faith in you. And I call you a couple times and you piss me off. And you turn to me and you tell me, look, I still have the recording on my phone. You know what you tell me? That you're dealing with bigger issues than man jumping through man's house and you have other things to think. So you understand? So you kind of throw me off there. I mean, are you as a leader at the Progressive Empowerment Party, the smallest thing happening on the floor, you should have known. Because the small man makes the contribution, not the big man.
You're absolutely correct, and I want to tell you this.
I'm very disappointed in him.
No, but I want to tell you this, right? And he may not have phrased it correctly, but there are some things that ends up beyond you if you don't actually have state power. And if it is your neighbors, if your neighbor is leaking in your yard, that's a regional corporation issue. And you have to, but we could represent you to the regional corporation.
Yeah, but my hand will only reach to a certain point. That is what the initiative that you put out, that you could reach beyond me. And I didn't get that representation.
No, and I want to tell you, and it's my fault for being overwhelmed because that didn't reach me, and it should have reached me. Okay? My number is 682-2110.
I messaged you this morning and you tell me type. I don't like typing. I like to speak.
I understand that, but what you have to understand, the reason I ask people to type is so that I can forward it to somebody who could deal with it once I understand the nature of the
all
problem.
I'm saying, the same thing happened under the UNC.
Hey.
When you hear Japan, I was telling she that here man manipulating you. She put it one side. No, I don't want to happen the same thing here.
That's not this. That's not
But
what.
I only hope so. But it's looking so.
No. And I want to tell you, you have every right to bring it here. And I appreciate you bringing it here. So I want to say it to you, send me but you have to.
We don't deal with it already. It make 2 years
No, okay, but I want to say this to you, right? The reason I ask people to type it up is because I get to copy and paste sections to forward to people in public offices who could help fix your problem.
That one already, they had the opportunity and they blow it.
Sorry about that. And
another thing too. Another thing too. I also am. I'm from the community of Journey now. Vanda and I do like she. she has done nothing there for us. I built a box train in my community. I took out 300,000 and built a box train 175 feet. I paved my own road for my community. Now I have a vision there that not just about employment, but I want entrepreneurs. I don't want people to be slaves working for people. I see a bigger vision here where we could create employment, where it have welders, it have fabricators, where we could weld and fabricate.
That's our policy.
And
Yeah.
export to CARICOM. You understand? So I have a bigger vision there. But I don't want to get into politics.
Would you like to meet and talk about these ideas and plans?
Another thing I tell Satish too, from my community at Gillingham, it have a lot of single mothers here who can't afford and have problems. I took a course in forex trading, and I can leverage Bitcoin. My 15-year-old daughter knows this.
Okay, so I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Are you willing to set up a cottage meeting there and I could come down?
Well, I got a cottage
This,
meeting.
hi, this is my point. We are bombarded, and it's stressful. We are bombarded every day.
Satish, that is not an excuse. I don't want
We
to hear that.
are bombarded every day with problems.
Don't give me that.
And
you are here, the smallest man from the. Don't tell me you're bombarded. Because if
No.
you're bombarded, no. What
No.
woman again?
Well, if we get in the power, we have wait.
It's the
No,
wrong answer.
sir,
we don't have any power right now.
sir, let me just explain to you. We are competing with a government that is getting $100 million in salaries alone. That's not even counting the millions upon millions of dollars in staff and resources that they have. That is not an excuse. Very rarely do we not deliver, and I am apologizing again. I asked you, will you be willing to have a cottage meeting so that we could come down and address the issues that
Come down, send your shadow MP.
all of us?
And come and we'll see what we
Okay, so you know how to reach me, message me, let's set it up, and we will bring the team down, and let's see what we can do. Fair?
Yeah, raise a community of entrepreneurs.
Good. I like that contribution. Thank you, my brother.
All right, I want to remind you, keep it short.
And again, and I want to say this, sorry for cutting you. Sound like Rum Shop, though?
Kinda. Because you want to make a point.
I tell him Thursday gone here. I say, Stefan, I can't make the show, boy. Do it without me. He said, nah, if you ain't coming, I ain't doing the show. So give me all that talk. Having an open mic. I am the only politician. When they give me a chance on TV and the radio and they tell me they want to open the phone lines, I say, he can tell you, open the phone lines. This is not a simple thing to do, to sit down and listen to people and problems that they have and even complaints for what we could have done better. But this is the transparency of this party, and it is what we are going to stand for in and out of government. So I want you to understand, those of you listening and looking, there is no other political leader of any party will ever do this. And I'll sit here, and I said this already, if I have to sit here with this microphone till tomorrow morning to answer questions, ask your question. Carry on. I see you have a list, though. You want to have a private meeting? Or it's from this lady? Ma'am?
This is from somebody who don't
There's
wanna be
there's no camera pointing at you. Where?
Okay. So this is about dyslexic children. And if it's going to have anything put into place like free schooling for dyslexic and autistic children and speech therapy, because speech therapy is pretty expensive, $1,000 for the first day. And
there are 200,000 children in school in this country at any given time between standards 1 and Form 5. The Progressive Empowerment Party's policy is to redo education by building 1,000 children 10-year schools. Those schools will be properly set up to identify those who are faster and those who are slower, to identify where the special needs are in society and make sure that not one child is left behind.
And also for the La Hockett and Talparo area, what is going on down there?
I walk that constituency twice. And I will never forget. And I watch the conditions people live under. I'll never forget this police officer who living in filth. And I'm talking to him about our policies. And he don't want to hear that. He's screaming into my face, Rowley, I want voting Rowley. La Hockett Talparo problem is they are living the consequence of voting Rowley.
That's correct.
We will give you the opportunity to vote yourself a better constituency. We promise you that. Good. Well done. Anything else, sir, on your list? Right. Stefan Rees want to wrap up.
All right, so we got to wrap things up. To do that, we want to call Precious Krushank. Precious? Precious not here. Okay. Esther Prince? Okay. Pastor Prince? Pastor Prince will come and give a vote of thanks to everybody coming out this evening. And come through.
Good night, everybody, again. And this was a good session. Don't you all think? Give yourself a round of applause. And give our political leader a... You did well. Again, good evening, Peppers. Come on, talk back to me. Good evening, Peppers. It's good to be here and to see every one of you. All protocols observed. And I'm doing this on behalf of our chair of the Women's Arm who had to leave for a while. And she said it gives me great pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this proceedings to all our esteemed members and guests here today. Every one of you, whoever you are. I would like to thank the owner of this property, this residence, who kindly asked to remain anonymous. I want to thank Chris and Yvette Burnett. Come put your hands together for them. They have been working tirelessly. So when I call the names, could you give them a round of applause? Amen. Sandra, Teresa, Patricia, and the entire Women's Arm executive team. The Youth Arm Chair, Mr. David Welch, and the entire Youth Arm team. Our MC, Mr. Stefan Rees, did an excellent job. Joanne James, Mr. Kurt Sunet, I think it is. Yes. Our pundit who did our prayer, Pundit Donnie Samlal. And of course, she has my name, yours truly, Esther Prince, Mr. Lachman Ramrup, Tyrone Hernandez, who did that nice with an calypso for the PEP, yeah? Krishna Tent Rental. Yeah, come on, give it to that. We didn't get wet, right, when the rain fell. Darren Air Conditioning. It had us a little cool. Derek Ayers and the entire audio team. I hope I pronounced the surname right. John Solomon. The people of Bamboo Number 1. And anybody that was left out, thank you. Mr. Anderson from Night Eye Security for keeping us safe. He kept us safe. There was no emergency. There was no bullet shooting. There was nothing, right? So it shows how PEP is going to keep our nation safe, all right? Thank you all, and have a blessed and good night. Reach home safe to your destination. And until we see you all again, continue to sell PEP, continue to talk about it. You know, a lot of people talk about certain questions they ask. If you all tune in to Philip Edward Alexander Facebook page, you would have enough videos to listen to him and to hear the heartbeat of this man for Trinidad and Tobago. Okay? So you can do that. God bless you all. Good night, good night, good night.
And in addition to everybody there, we want to thank Mr. Benny Hitam from Woodford Cafe, correct? All right. So we want to thank everybody for coming out, Bamboo Settlement number 1, and, you know, listening to all of the contributions, meeting the 10 shadow MPs presented by the Progressive Empowerment Party. There are refreshments, and of course, anybody who would like to speak directly to the political leader, Mr. Philip Edward Alexander, I'm sure he'll make time for you. Right now, because we've come to the end of the proceedings. So thanks a lot, and until the next time, stay safe. Reach home safe.
This is a call to the nation. One by one, let's do it together. Let's be the change we want to see. Standing strong to any weather. Follow the light of the PEP, 'cause we could build a better place for every creed and every race. Together we could triumph over anything we face. So one by one, two by two, the PEP, we're here for you. Bit by bit, one people under one thought. A better TNT. Philip, we go fix it, because we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. It's time for a change indeed. Philip, we go fix it, because we vote in PEP. Future for children. So one by one, two by two, the PEP will care for you. Bit by bit, let's build a better TNT. So come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Philip, we go fix it, because we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. It's time for a change indeed. Philip, we go fix it, because we vote in PEP. For you, bit by bit, one people under one thought. So come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Philip, we go fix it, because we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. It's time for a change indeed. Philip, we go fix it. Vote PEP. Oh la la, oh la la. living